Hey, what's up, Ryan? What have you been up to? You follow me, right? I'm on. I just have the Godfather on. This is Godfather's about to get shot. Oh, oh, look at Fredo fumbling the gun. You know the scene? I'm gonna actually put on the news instead. I've seen this many times. Hello, everyone out there on Facebook and YouTube. If you come into my chat room or my chat box on Twitch, it'll be better because I can see your comments. I'll put the BBC on because CNN has the 90s on. I guess it's Sunday they do that stuff. I'll lower it a little bit. I'm doing pretty well, man. What have you been up to? If you're in New York City, come see my play this week. I'm performing on Wednesday at the 36th Street Theater, 5:30 and 7:30. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. Where you going? Where you going? Say hi. You're not camera shy. So get up here. Go ahead. I love felines. Oh, no, this is Michael Quinn. That's funny. Um, well, Friday I'm performing in the Hamptons. So if you go to FeltmanWorldsFirstHotDog.com, just go in there now. You'll see my schedule. So I have two performances on Wednesday in the city, and then I have a performance in a large venue in the Hamptons on Friday. But I'll be performing again in the city, and I'm going to be touring with it. But just go to FeltmanWorldsFirstHotDog.com. That's funny. No, this is Michael Quinn. Good one. I'll do this. Michael Quinn hits the road. You know it, babe. Hit the road, Quinn. Don't you come back no more. Yeah, I'm going to bring it to Hollywood in December, doing two performances in Hollywood. And then the Hamptons Friday. There's still tickets left. If you're in the city, if you want to come see my play, Wednesday in New York City or Friday in the Hamptons. So those who are viewing this from Twitch, not Twitch, from YouTube or Facebook, you can press the link and it should take, there should be a link under the screen. We'll take you to Twitch because I can't see your comments unless you come onto the Twitch, my Twitch stream. Oh, thank you. Salika, thank you. Are you snapping? Thank you so much. Yeah, Salika, you could tell them about the play a little bit. She came to see my play, and she's going to come, I think, bring her dad in December. Thanks for the follow, Mamoon. Yoshi followed. Carly. And if you guys want to use the, if you want to, I got a bunch of subs actually. A bunch of people are subscribed. You could do that, but also you could use the TTS right there. So I have TTS set up. I'm live on Twitch right now. Come on board. It gets better, when I'm consistent with the streaming, I get more and more people. Obviously, it makes sense, right? But after I stopped the streaming, I didn't realize how many people are watching from Facebook and YouTube. That in September, day after my birthday. Yep. That's it. Salika's turning 21. I'm live on Twitch right now. So yeah, I just want to start with talking about. Let's start with New York City because that's close to home. The New York Post released a news story today that I don't know how many, but maybe two, I don't know, 9/11 family members who don't even live in New York, they live in Florida, want to have Mayor Zohran Mamdani banned from the 25th anniversary of 9/11 at downtown. Now, I'm a 9/11 family member. If you didn't know already, I lost my little brother. He worked on the 104th floor of Tower 1. So a lot of people came after me. Who are you to speak for these people? You know, what if they don't want him there? I'm like, dude, I'm a 9/11 family member just like everyone else. So, and I voted for Mamdani. And I lived in New York City since 1975. And I think he's doing a fantastic job. I want to see him there because he represents New York City. He's the mayor. And all these people, well, he's friends with Hassan Piker and this other person. We do have something here called freedom of speech. And we also have something, if you don't like who he associates with, so you're going to not let him attend something that's being recognized by the city that he's mayor of. Maybe that could go under the banner of communism. Okay, it's just ironic, there's a lot of hypocrisy with the MAGA and the Republicans. Mamdani made it very clear that he's for equality for all people, and he's made it very clear that he opposes genocide. It has nothing to do with being Jewish. It has to do with what Bibi Netanyahu is doing, which is slaughtering innocent people. That's what it has to do with. And then the two men that were attacked by, I think the man was Puerto Rican maybe or Hispanic who attacked them. You have to remember the first person, they don't even mention the man that was Asian that was attacked. Some people have been writing he attacked two Jewish men. Unless I'm mistaken, maybe it was the Asian guy Jewish also? I don't know. So, and then they all blame Mamdani, this blood on your hands. I don't think Mamdani could kill a fly. I mean, Trump's responsible for the deaths of hundreds of thousands of people. And so is Netanyahu even more. So it's just kind of ridiculous the way people think. I'm live on Twitch right now. Come on board. This is Michael Quinn. Thank you. Okay. Salika said, I think so too. Mamdani is doing a good job. We need someone like him to be president to fix all the damage Donald J. have done. All the village idiots have come out and think they'll implement a hybrid of Sharia. Yeah, so Sharia law. You see the way his wife dresses? Is that really Sharia law? No. And the thing about MAGA, they don't know the difference between communism and socialism and democratic socialism. It's like the 1950s all over again. They have to create a Red Scare, And somehow it's Mamdani being opposed to genocide caused a Puerto Rican man to attack a Chinese person and a Jewish man because of Zohran Mamdani being opposed to genocide. Make it make sense. I'm live on Twitch right now, Tony Soprano. Come on. This is Michael Quinn. I think they're just freaking out, the Republicans, because he's doing so well and he's so popular that they don't want that. They don't want what's good for the people. The tide is changing, Yeah, Roy Cohn tactics, yep. I don't think it was set up, but who set up, it probably would have been two Jewish guys, no Chinese Asian guy. Who knows? Hi, I'm live on Twitch right now. Come on board. This is Michael Quinn. Yeah. I'm going to turn this off, so if you want to join me, you have to come on Twitch. My handle is This is Michael Quinn. There's always innocent lives lost. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. Look at this cute face here. Look at this guy. He loves it. Doesn't he have a face for Hollywood? Look at this guy. Hey, go. Now he's camera shy all of a sudden. I love felines too. Aren't they the best? Look at this guy. Hi. He's happy. He's so spoiled. I love spoiling cats. Don't you? God, I mean, I'd say I really feel bad for those people who had to sit through that speech. What's up, McGee? McGee, I need you to do me a favor. I'm streaming live on Twitch right now. Can you give me a follow on Twitch? This is Michael Quinn is my handle. Can you do that for me? For those who are watching on YouTube or watching also on Facebook, I can't see your comments unless you press the button underneath the screen and come into my Twitch chat box. I love Snickers too, but I need you to come into my Twitch. Every Twitch, if you post something on Twitch, I read it out loud. And I also have TTS set up. Just a great guy. Yeah, hit the follow on my Twitch. This is Michael Quinn on Twitch. I'm streaming live on Twitch. I'm just having you guys have a little peek on it. But if you go to This is Michael Quinn on Twitch, then you could comment. I want to go rafting in the Delaware Water Gap. The weather's been great. Is that fun? Is it rough? You don't have to pay, no. Just go to twitch.tv and give me a follow on This is Michael Quinn. This is Michael Quinn's my handle on Twitch. You don't have to pay for shit. I'm your worst nightmare. Oh, balls up here. It feels a little. Am I going bald? I can't tell. I can can never see the top of my head. It looks like it's thinning a little bit. What do you think? It's like a tornado. I can't tell if I'm going bald. Oh. Because you have to face your fears, baby. Did you see The Odyssey? I saw The Odyssey today. I loved it. I thought it was great. You know, Odysseus had to face his fears, baby. Face his nightmares. I couldn't wait to the end because I'm like, the end's going to be epic. And it was pretty damn good. This is Michael Quinn. Go to twitch.tv. This is Michael Quinn. Happy place. Anyone out there see The Odyssey yet? I saw it this afternoon. I loved it. I'm live on Twitch. Tom, come on board. I'm live on Twitch. This is Michael Quinn on Twitch, so come on board, Tom. You too, Anthony. Yeah, I saw it up at Lincoln Center. Trump is not going to be president in 2028. He'll be dead by then. Masters of the Universe? Yeah, this is Michael Quinn on Twitch. Just hit the follow button. Well, I've been enjoying life, babe. I'm not on social media all the time, but I'm basically doing the streaming every day now, which I love. But yeah, give me a follow on Twitch right now. We have Salika here, a couple other people, and then we have, I'm also piping this into YouTube and Facebook. I can't see the numbers there because I can't read their comments or anything. Drinking a Coke. I just realized a few minutes ago that it looks like my hair's thinning on top. I didn't realize that. Maybe I should grow it a little bit longer. So I didn't realize I have all this thinning hair. Oh, he did? That guy's kind of funny. I saw him, George. Yeah. I've been to the Odyssey before. The 2001 Odyssey. Thanks for the like, Mary LD. Wilfredo Severo, thanks for the follow. George W. Wethington, thanks for the follow. For those who are not following, come on Twitch right now. I'm streaming live on Twitch. This is Michael Quinn on twitch.tv. And I know some of you are watching from Facebook and YouTube. Press the link underneath the video, and it'll bring you into my Twitch stream where we could communicate. Because I can't see your comments where you are. But if you come to where I am, I have my chat box on Twitch. And if you say something, I'll read it out loud. What are my thoughts on the state of Israel and our relationship to them? Well, I oppose genocide. I oppose any type of killing. It doesn't have to be called genocide. Any type of killing of innocent civilians. That's abhorrent. I don't think there's anything worse than that. And the fact that we're funding it, yeah, and that's bad, but the fact that it's happening is just, you know, the Israelis are now setting fire to mosques in the West Bank. There's 94% of the hospitals are bombed. There's no food going in there. It's a genocide. There's no doubt about it. I'm live on Twitch right now. Come on board. Thanks for the follows. If you're watching now from another platform, come inside to Twitch. This is Michael Quinn, Twitch. Hey Darren, do me a favor. Do me a big one, babe. Go to twitch.tv. This is Michael Quinn, and hit the follow button. I'm streaming live on Twitch right now. Okay. Be a jag, babe. I've been streaming on Twitch daily now on a daily basis, and I'm really enjoying it. I have close to 400 followers, which is not a lot, but I just started doing this. I have affiliate status. I have a handful of subs. I have TTS set up. I have everything I need here, and you need. So I'm sick of TikTok and all the other platforms. I'm a Twitch guy now. I'm a Twitch guy. I think Mitch McConnell's dead. Affiliate is crazy. I think I had to get 300 for affiliate, but it's pretty cool. Yeah, hit the follow button on Twitch. I'm streaming live. If you go to twitch.tv, this is Michael Quinn. You can hit the follow button. I'm streaming live on Twitch right now under This is Michael Quinn. Yeah, we'll have a reunion soon, yeah. I never understood why he doesn't really have his own streaming platform, you know? That's the way to do it. I mean, I don't need the money, but I'm making money off of this. But I don't need the money. But Joshua could easily do it on his own if he could just get all the computer and whatever. I know he kind of had his own, but it was always someone else, like with their hands in the fucking pockets, you know? He needs to be truly independent with the streaming. Hey, what's up? Yeah, come on Twitch. Connor Ward, thanks. And give me a follow on Twitch if you haven't yet. So this is Michael Quinn. What is that? R.I.P. Oliver Tree. If that's Enlightened D. I had some chicken for dinner. I had chicken with carrots and broccoli, and I saw like a later afternoon showing of the Odyssey today, and it was nice. It was a nice that theater in Lincoln Center is nice, a nice room there. So I've been a fan of the Odyssey since like high school, and the Iliad too. I taught both books when I was a teacher. They're not really books; they're epic poems, and they were sung, chanted. Yeah, well, I've had issues for years with Coke keeping me up. You know what I'm saying? Salika just said, I hope you get to bed soon and the Coke doesn't keep you up. Perfect dinner. I'm kidding. Yeah, come on Twitch. This is Michael Quinn. I'm streaming live on Twitch. Well, Salika, I'm getting ready for a few performances this week. Wednesday in New York City, Friday in the Hamptons. I hope I'm not rusty. You get on Twitch. This is Michael Quinn. Hey, Marcus Cambridge, join me on Twitch. This is Michael Quinn. This is great. Tommy Moriello, what's up, babe? I'm on Twitch. This is Michael Quinn. What does that say? Didn't last well. I can't read what you wrote. If you post on Twitch, I'll read it. So this is Michael Quinn streaming live on Twitch. I don't know what that means. I don't need lots of money. I already have lots of money. Give a fuck. That's on the Knicks. The Knicks. The thing about the Knicks, And I told another Knicks fan, a longtime Knicks fan, it would have been so much more rewarding if they did it in the 90s. I'm serious. I would have liked it so much more in the 90s. Because I dislike streaming on Twitch. It's better. Who is your favorite character in the Odyssey? I mean, I think Odysseus, you know? He's the ultimate protagonist, the ultimate hero. It's why James Joyce wrote Ulysses. He was just, as a child, his favorite story was Odysseus in the Odyssey. Is it true you started doing drag performances in Queens on weeknights? No, but I did something similar to drag performances. I was in a New York Dolls tribute band. I don't even remember if we performed in Queens, to be honest with you. We did Manhattan a lot, and Brooklyn. We did a gig in Jersey once in Clifton. But if you go on YouTube, you'll see me playing David Johansen. The band was called the Lipstick Killers. And I portrayed David Johansen. They called me David So Handsome. Yep. How did you pull off Daniel Arts and Josh Block meetup? All right. Well, I could tell you the story as long as you come in on Twitch, because I'm going to turn this off in a second. So I'm going to tell my Twitch followers. This is Michael Quinn on Twitch. How did I pull off? Well, the thing is, things started to get heated up between Daniel and Joshua. And I felt like Joshua was very scared of Daniel because Daniel was like threatening him. And then when he found out he was in New York, he got even more scared. So he wanted me to fight him or protect him, whatever. And I just happened to pass by Daniel at like a Starbucks in Lower Manhattan. And we got to talking. I took him for lunch for a burger. And we talked for a while. And I told him that, Josh was scared of you, but I think it would be good if you made peace. It'll be, And he agreed to the meetup, I don't know. I did a lot better than that the United States has done with Palestine and Israel. Yeah. I was never a drag queen, but I did play like glam, like New York Dolls music. And one of my closest relatives is Jane County, who made this painting for Dee Dee. Jane County used to be Wayne County in the 70s. She's a transgender pioneer. I did run into him. He was at the Starbucks. What was your merch cut from Joshua? There was a guy named, I guess he doesn't do it anymore, Sebastian. Someone named Sebastian was doing his merch. I had nothing to do with the merch. I don't know who Sebastian was. This guy Sebastian, his father, were handling the merch. So I had any type of business dealings with Joshua. I did give him an idea to start some kind of like, I don't want to call it a tour or a meetup. And I made it very clear to him he needed to get a license. He was going to do that. So, but I never had any type of business partnership with him at all. What's up, J-Rod? Make sure you give me a follow, babe. Nothing more sexier than a man wearing makeup. Ooh. I wear a little makeup just to cover the Sometimes I put a little here just if I don't want my glasses. Actually, it's not that bad today. I have these crow's feet. A little dark under the eyes. Sometimes I wear a little concealer. Concealer. See? Not bad for 51, right? Just wait. You'll get there one day. Quinn Jag, a little makeup. Okay. Did I know? I knew a couple of Ramones. I knew I'd seen the Ramones perform at the Continental Divide. I did meet Joey Ramone at a rooftop party in St. Mark's Place. I met Dee Dee Ramone. And, of course, Marky, who's not original. He's the second drummer. He used to play in Wayne County's band before he was in the Ramones. He's, I think, the only one still alive, but he's not even original 4. But I'd seen them play before. I saw Johnny Thunders play there same place. And I met Johnny Thunders one night. I was a kid. We say woulda instead of water. 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 I've never been married, no. I'm lucky. I don't need anyone taking half of my hot dog fortune. So if you haven't heard, I'm live on Twitch right now. This is Michael Quinn. That's who I'm actually really speaking to. I have some people tuning in from YouTube, some people tuning in from Facebook, but it's all coming from Twitch. I have you piped in. So I can't read your comments. I know often people who are watching through on Facebook or YouTube, they make comments, but I don't see after the live because I'm streaming on Twitch. Eyes itch, I guess, because of the cat. This is a different camera, obviously. No, I'm a dad, and I have responsibilities, and I have a family. I should have, what'd you say? Say, lucky, I should have waited too. I should have listened to the nuns. Oh, okay. Why, the nuns told you not to get married? The nuns told you. The Quinn effect. What's up, Steve? My child's an adult, by the way. What's up, Steve? Give me a follow on Twitch. This is Michael Quinn. I'm streaming live on Twitch right now. About marriage. Yeah. For those on YouTube or Facebook right now, press the link underneath the screen because I can only see your comments on Twitch. You got to come on board Twitch. It's twitch.tv. This is Michael Quinn. I'm streaming on a daily basis. I just have this going just to kind of get people to come on here. Comic-Con 2026. They said take your time. Just because someone says he loves you, it only means he like. I would never take sex advice from a nun or marriage advice from a nun. I mean, that's just nonsense. I mean, nuns, they get none today, none tomorrow, none never. So they're nuns. They get none. So I wouldn't take any advice from a nun. It's nonsense. Not on Twitch. I don't have a filter on Twitch. You have to come on Twitch. Enough of this shit. This is Michael Quinn. I'm streaming live on Twitch. if you come on Twitch, I'll read your comments. But I'm turning this off right now. So twitch.tv. This is Michael Quinn. Goodbye. If you want to, I'm going to continue streaming on Twitch, but not here. So it's twitch.tv. My handle is This is Michael Quinn. Bye. Married twice? Why is that? Why'd you get married twice for? Once wasn't enough? Eyes are itchy for this guy. Making my eyes itch. Good. So those who are on Facebook, YouTube, come on board and follow me on Twitch right now. So the same magazine bags that were delighted. Good. Oh, I have a like. Someone liked it. Someone liked it on Facebook, my stream. Come on board, baby. We got more people. I'll understand. Oh, I got 3 people on. Let me see. I'm gonna put everything in here so people see. That works better. I married 2 Christian fascists, none said America. You went to school. You went to Catholic school? Sacred Heart? Which Sacred Heart? There's one in Pennsylvania? Yes, Sacred Heart, Masters from St. Peter's, Jersey City. Yeah, I went to Catholic school most of my life myself. I graduated from St. Francis College. My bachelor's degree, my master's was Long Island University in Brooklyn. My brother used to say I'm the most educated person he knows. Because I studied acting too. And I have like 2 master's degrees and 60 credits above my master's degree. And I studied with Uta Hagen in the 90s at the HB Studio. I studied acting with Uta Hagen. And I went to the American Academy of Dramatic Arts also. Thanks for joining, everyone. If you're on my Twitch, just announce yourself. I have a question for you. Do you think it's right that certain people want to ban Zohran Mamdani for the 20th anniversary of 9/11? Do you think that's fair? Yes or no? You can comment in the chat box below, and I'll read everyone's comments. I can't see your comment unless you're on Twitch. You're seeing my Twitch stream from Facebook or YouTube, but there's a link underneath the stream if you're on Facebook or YouTube. And press that link, and you'll be transported through my Twitch stream. That's where this is coming from. And I have a chat box, and you can answer in the chat box. Thanks. Jackie, thanks for the follow. Ale Krutz, thanks for the follow. Steve Orfrey, thanks for the follow. Thank you, Salika. I may have to stream early tomorrow. I may be streaming. I have to figure it out. Well, you know what? Maybe. I have an event at 7. So there's a good chance after the event I may be able to stream. Maybe I'll do. See, it's crazy because sometimes I'll have something going on, like 6, 7 o'clock. I can't decide whether to stream earlier in the day or later at night. You know? HR Ramos, thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. We're getting a ton of followers tonight. This has been great. I have a story. I will share everything with you. Sacred Heart Covenant School was run by an Italian mission founded by Daniel Comboni. Convent. I was going to say covenant. Convent. Oh, Casey Lamb, thanks for the follow. Thanks for the follow. If you're on Facebook or YouTube, I can't read your comments right now. You have to come into Twitch. There's a link underneath this stream, and it'll take you here where I can read your comments. But I can't read your comments unless you're on Twitch. Frank D. Ray, thank you for the follow. Getting a lot of followers tonight. This is fucking awesome. You okay, good boy? Trump paused attacks on Iran. Israeli settlers set fire to mosques in foreign land. No, I'm not going back to London this year. I was already there. I'm going to Knoebels, though. I rent a house in the amusement park, Knoebels, in Ellisburg, Pennsylvania. So that's like a summer tradition. And then I'm going to Disney World next month also. So I have Knoebels and Disney World next month. That's why I'm not performing in August. I have a few things going on in August. And then I'll be back on stage in September. Yeah. James Bennett, thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. Getting a lot of followers tonight. Thanks for joining, everyone. I'm going to put the link to the TTS if you want to do a TTS donation. If you don't know what a TTS donation is, I think it's $5. But TTS is where you could talk on the live. But it's not your voice. It's someone else's voice. I can actually test it out, I think. Test. Let me see. Should hear it. I didn't hear anything. Let me try it again. You should hear the TTS. Did you hear anything? I don't know. I should hear something. It's supposed to test it. Negro Sanchez, thanks for the follow. Thank you, Negro. Salika, we will be on tomorrow night. It may be a little bit late, I have to see, because I have an event. I got to go to a play reading in Midtown. So I'm probably not going to stream till later tomorrow night. But I could probably do it around, see, the play's 7, 8, 9. I probably won't stream it. Probably around, I start at like 10 o'clock tonight, right? I could probably do 10 o'clock tomorrow night. We'll see. Isn't it great? I'm starting to get a routine down, which is awesome. I never used to have like a routine because I always had issues, technical issues. And of course I do travel a lot. So it's kind of great that I'm able to kind of get a regular schedule going with the streaming. And I think it'll pick up. And if you haven't followed yet, if you're watching, give me a follow on Twitch. This is Michael Quinn. I'm streaming live on Twitch. I'm streaming on a daily basis, usually in the evenings now. If you check my my socials, you'll see I'm usually make an announcement in the streaming. I think I'm going to stream probably tomorrow night around 10 because I have an event at 7. I rub some magnesium oil on my feet. I had taken magnesium last week. I had like 2 pills. And my therapist said it's good for me because I have ADHD. I'm neurodivergent, if you haven't already figured that out. And I have therapy during the week. I have a few therapists that I work with. And I'm on medication. And she said that people like me have very low magnesium. And I took magnesium a couple of nights in a row, and it just knocked me out. I couldn't function. And it really didn't hit me until the next day. So I'm like, fuck it, Oh, well, I'm going to start taking not Ritalin. What's the other one? It actually begins with a V. It's kind of like Ritalin. But what happened is I was tested again for sleep apnea, and for the second time in my life, and it came out negative. But the doctor said that I have a premature heartbeat. And the cardiologist said about a few months ago that my aorta is like a little large. So he said, hold off on the ADHD stimulant for now, even though I have it. And he did another that's why I had the other night. I had the sticker on my heart because it's like 3 days they had to read my heart. But the crazy thing about it is it kept falling off. So I don't know how much they read. And it only fell off when I took my shirt off. It was fine in the shower. It was fine when I was sleeping So I'm mailing it tomorrow, and hopefully I'll get the clear so I could start taking the ADHD stimulants. Because right now I take bupropion and sertraline. I don't know if you heard of that. And I take cholesterol medication. I take montelukast because I'm allergic to the cats. I take a probiotic. It's crazy. I feel like my grandpa. In the morning, it's a task just to take all these pills. I'm live on Twitch right now. Greg, come on board. This is Michael Quinn. I'm going to turn this off. Come on board to This is Michael Quinn on Twitch. That's where I'm streaming. Yeah, but you know what it is? Because I was diagnosed late last year with not only ADHD, but depression and post-traumatic stress disorder. It could be due to it could be due to the ADHD, but also the 9/11 too, probably. It may be 9/11 also. So I don't know. We'll see. And I'm gonna get tested for autism also. I'm gonna get tested for being on the spectrum because ADHD it's very similar. So I'm gonna do that also. My IQ was tested, so my IQ is 150, which is relatively high. But I have difficult with basic tasks. But my therapist said, listen, not that many people, maybe 0.5% of people in the world could do what you can do. What do you mean? She goes, well, you wrote a play and you produced it and you're the only actor in it. You get in front of people and do that. She's like, that's a small percent of the world. And she goes, that's because of your intelligence. You have a very high IQ, but you're also neurodivergent. So you have difficulty with basic tasks and you're forgetful. But you could write an award-winning play and perform every character on stage, or, the things I can do, which most people can't. But what basic things that everyday people do, I struggle with. And that's part of being neurodivergent, you know? I take happy hormones to help with my parent. Hey, Che Johnny B, what's up, babe? Thanks for joining us. How's it going? For those who don't know, I'm live on Twitch right now. We're talking about my diagnosis last year of ADHD. There are a lot of successful people. Good note, dyslexia. A lot of adults getting tested for autism these days. I don't have dyslexia. I read very well. I'm a reading whore. I mean, my books, and I read just basically the classics. You know, I read some contemporary books too, but I'm constantly reading Shakespeare and Camus and Tolstoy, Dostoevsky, Joyce, Yeats, Keats. I mean, I'm constantly reading. I just love the classics. I think that's all you need, because the classics are universal. They're timeless, you know? And there's nothing like having solitary reading time. And I think it really helps me with my cognitive skills, you know? What's my secret to success? Che Johnny B said, what's my secret, or generally? My secret to success, I think, growing up in a very conservative environment geared towards Catholicism, school, church, very, hate to say too pro-American, but you know what I'm getting at. I felt a good deal of my life was indoctrination. A good deal of it was not developing critical thinking skills because I was told how to think and how to act. Do you know what I'm saying? It's indoctrination, whether it's religion, education, whatever it may be. So it took me a while to break free of that. And not everyone does. Some people are still in that jail of indoctrination. And it made me very challenging to be of confidence in myself, especially being neurodivergent on top of that. I was thinking even initially, I think it should be illegal. I know it sounds wild to some of you people, but I think from a moral stance, I don't think people who are neurodivergent should practice religion. I'm going to tell you why. People like me who are neurodivergent, we're very sensitive. We take things literally. We totally believe in justice. Can't stand hypocrisy. And we always feel like we're guilty of something. Like it's always like our fault, or, you know. So with those neurodivergent traits, let's say you're raised Catholic, go to Catholic school, and you're in church, and you're looking at this man nailed to a cross, dying. It's bloody, it's gory, and they're telling you that he's doing it for you. It's something that you did that not caused it, but somehow it's connected to your behavior, or you're a sinner. And I think it's just the mind fuck, and especially if you're neurodivergent, it's just. So I know you can't ban religion, but I think that it can be very dangerous to kids in general, but especially the neurodivergent population. Now, as far as answering your question is finding success, I didn't find success until I broke through that indoctrination. I didn't find success until for my entire life, basically, I was looking for answers somewhere else, from my parents, from the pastor, from teachers, from older role models. And it took me a while to figure out that all the answers I was searching for were found right here inside myself. So I think you'll find out, Johnny, that all the answers you're going to need to find in life are within yourself. I know we often search for other places, but you're not going to find answers. And that's it sounds cliche, man, it's kind of corny, but I know it sounds like. But for me, that's kind of how I found success, is when I started to trust myself, my own intuition, my own critical thinking skills, instead of asking permission. Don't ask permission. You'll never be successful if to ask permission. Write that down. You'll never be successful if you have to ask permission. Don't ask permission. Don't ask permission to be yourself. Don't ask permission to think critically. That's a very, very important lesson to learn. And all the answers that you're going to find in the universe are going to be found right inside of you. And that's the truth. You didn't kiss a boy till 18. Oh my God. I never kissed a boy. Jane Eyre. Okay, awesome. I love those writers. I read Jane Eyre in high school. Catholic guilt, that's how I felt around boys. I didn't kiss a boy till I was 18. Even then, I felt that was wrong. Yeah. So I went, I had sex ed, I guess, in 5th grade, and I went to Catholic school. And the teacher was a lesbian former nun who kind of looked like John Candy. And she was teaching us sex ed, and I was so confused. It just didn't make sense to me the way she was teaching it, because they had to teach it like a religious way. Don't do this, but this is where you put it. You put it here, but don't do this until you get married. It was like for 10 years old, they're like, what the fuck is going on here? Shit. Wow. Well, you kiss girls too. Whiskey is frisky, babe. Come on board. I'm streaming live on Twitch. This is Michael Quinn. I was just answering Johnny's question. Johnny's in the basement mixing up the medicine. I'm on the pavement. Think about the government. Yeah. Well, this is a former nun that looked like a man. And I couldn't understand. It didn't make sense to me what she was saying. Yeah, it was just the man puts it there. That's it. They put it there. Like, I don't get it. The man sticks it, puts it there. I'm trying to visualize like a kid. I'm like, what? But don't you dare do it until you're married. It made me so curious. Well, what is she talking about? This makes no sense. And it's like she never had a man put it there because she's a former nun who's a lesbian. This looks like John Candy. So it was just a very odd experience, very confusing. Was it Nietzsche that said, religion is the opiate of the masses? I mean, think about what is religion actually. Religion is meant to give us solace and comfort from a world that's being destroyed by religion. Right? Sperm got to the yeah, isn't it weird? Like sex, we're talking about sex education in Catholic school. It's like an oxymoron. Yes, Matt. Come see me this Wednesday. I'm performing. I have 5:30 and 7:30 at the 36th Street Theater, and then this Friday I'm performing out in East Hampton. Yeah, I'm performing in a place called in Wainscott. So go to FeltmanWorldsFirstHotDog.com, and you could buy tickets there for my New York City shows. I have 2 performances on Wednesday, and then Friday I'm bringing it out to the Hamptons for the weekend. And don't forget to give me a follow on Twitch because I'm streaming live on Twitch. I'm giving up this TikTok. So come on board on Twitch. This is Michael Quinn. I'm actually streaming right now, so hit the follow button. So it's twitch.tv. This is Michael Quinn. And if you want to buy tickets to see my play in New York City on Wednesday, go to FeltmanWorldsFirstHotDog.com. We have a super hot dog fan on right here. We have Salika. She'll tell you all about my play. She had seen it, and she's bringing her dad to see it in September. Those of you who are watching, tuning in from Facebook, there's a link. Will take you into Twitch because I can't read your comments. And the same thing with YouTube. My YouTube account is Michael Quinn Jag. I know some of you are watching the stream, but it's streaming to Twitch. So there's a button underneath, a link that will take you to Twitch. So what happens is after I stop the live, I go into my Facebook and I go into my YouTube and I see all these comments of people asking questions, but they don't realize I don't see it. Do you know what I'm saying? So you got to come into Twitch for me to see it. And the link is underneath the live. Got it? My favorite candy is Snickers. You want to hear something? What happened was 2 picks. Okay. One of the 8 times I went to Disney this year, it was pretty cool. I was at the Abracadabra bar on the boardwalk in Disney. And the Mars Corporation, which is still family owned, they had some kind of corporate event. There was so many of them, right? And they were getting so rowdy and so drunk. And we were drinking martinis at the Abracadabra bar. And I was staying at the Boardwalk Inn that week. And I think so were they. So it was like, Abracadabra is kind of cool. Usually places have to close exactly at midnight. They'll kind of loosen up. They'll let you go at 12:15, 12:20. So I'm with like this whole staff, the people from the Mars Corporation. And I told them what my favorite candy bar was, Snickers. And that's their company's pride and joy. And I was educating them on the history of the Snickers. And the Snickers was named after a horse that they owned called Snickers. And Snickers died, and when they were developing the chocolate bar, and in memory of Snickers, the horse, the racehorse, the chocolate bar was called Snickers. And that's a true story. And then we ended up in the lobby of the Boardwalk Inn at like 2 a.m, and they kept ordering McDonald's over and over again. And they just had bags of like quarter pounds of cheese, and they kept handing it to me. Like, yeah, have another one, have another one. I'm like, guys, you work for Mars. Don't you have any Snickers? I need some Snickers. I'm live on Twitch right now. Come on board. This is Michael Quinn. If you haven't yet, give me a follow on Twitch. This is Michael Quinn. If you go to twitch.tv.com, this is Michael Quinn. I'm streaming now, but I'm going to ask you to hit the follow button. Sperm got to the egg. Yes, I agree. 2 picks. One was a tadpole, the other an egg. And then you just saw the tadpole moving towards the egg, but didn't show how the sperm ended up in the hot dog. Oh, yeah. Ended up in the woman, not the hot dog. Sorry, I'm sleepy. My Benji cat hears your voice. Nice. Have you ever visited Ben & Jerry's ice cream factory in Vermont? I have not. But I have a lot of respect for those guys, man. They remind me of myself. You know, they were the ice cream moguls. I'm the hot dog mogul. Both sold our businesses, and now we're based when it comes to politics. I love it. I love those guys. I'm live on Twitch right now. Come on board. This is Michael Quinn. I'm streaming live on Twitch. I'm only answering only reading comments on Twitch. So if you have a comment for me, the only way I'm going to read it out loud is if you come into my Twitch right now. Go to twitch.tv. This is Michael Quinn. Hit the follow button, and you could post in my chat box. I also have TTS set up, and you could gift a sub too if you want. I got a handful of subs. We have a lot to talk about, yeah. You have to come into the Twitch to post a question. This is Michael Quinn on Twitch. So you have to come on board, and I'll only read questions that are on Twitch. So I have a chat box here. So this is Michael Quinn. And for those of you who are watching through my YouTube and through my Facebook, press the link underneath because I can't read your comments right now. You have to come to Twitch. Bro, you got to link with Larson now that he's out. It's funny because I was looking for his phone number. I was going to wish him well. I have it somewhere. I have to look. But I hope he's doing well, Larson. You know, I think he's a real superstar and very, very bright. You know, we had a lunch date at PJ Clark's, and I was very, very impressed how intelligent he is. He doesn't come across that way on social media, but he is very bright. He had unfortunate circumstances. You know, I'm sure his parents were like MAGA or something, you know. You gave us the greatest event of all time with that crossover. So the day of that crossover, I'll give you a little story. You could write this down if you want. I kind of knew it was going to go down because I think Joshua felt safe with me. The same way when I was younger, I always felt safe with the Brooklyn Yeti because he's a fucking animal. But I think Josh, when I convinced him to meet Larson, I encouraged him to face his fears. I said, Joshua, you got in life, if you want to survive, if you want to be successful, you have to face your fears. And right now, your number one fear is Danderson, is Daniel Larson. And I convinced him to meet him. And Daniel swore to me he wouldn't do anything mean or fight him or anything. So that's how it came together. So when I got them together in that same Starbucks, Daniel wanted an Impossible Burger. I don't know why. I don't know if Josh even if he had anything. He probably had his debris bag with him with some snacks or something. But the funny thing about it was when everyone knew this shit was going down, like this was like the biggest event since like, the end of World War II, at least on the internet. It was kind of like peace between Israel and Palestine type of shit, So there was booths in that Starbucks. And I would say about 16 guys from Xavier High School in Chelsea showed up with their uniforms on, like hanging over the booths, like watching this moment in time. And these kids were probably just, reciting Robert Frost with their Jesuit priest teachers an hour earlier. And they're like, we got to get out of school. We got to see this happen. And it was all kids from Xavier High School, which is kind of an elite high school, Jesuit. And that's where their mind was at. Like there was about 16 of them showed up and hovered over Daniel and the t-shirts. And would like take pictures. Like it was like they were witnessing, like they saw like an image of the Virgin Mary or something. It was hilarious. I don't think anyone knew that. And no one picked up on it because who would know? But they were like old Xavier kids with their uniforms, like there to witness it. It was no paparazzi, just Xavier kids, which I thought was hilarious. This man is here to. All right. I don't know why you would do that. I don't know any 12-year-olds named Joshua. I got to plug this in. This is getting a little. How's the New York life been? Is amazing. Come on board. I'm going to read. You gave us the best events in 1776. Only 16 and up. I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, good. I also have the TTS set up here. So I think it's a $5 donation for the TTS. And it's unfiltered. It's not filtered at all, my TTS. So if you want to come on board to Twitch, this is Michael Quinn on Twitch. Somehow, some way, you have to meet up with Larson again. I mean, I wish the guy the best, I mean, I did offer him some, I don't know if you want help or support, so just a great guy, I'm live on Twitch right now, sharing stories about events like the X-Men crossover. Well, what happened is I'm going to shave this soon because I have to grow a mustache for my performances this week. So I usually don't have a beard. I do have some beard cream, but I'm going to shave this soon and, keep the mustache. No, it's a whiskey t-shirt, babe. I am neurodivergent. I can't say special needs, but, I think we all have special needs, But I was diagnosed with ADHD late last year. And I also, I have an IQ of 150, which is certainly high. So, yeah, But the crazy thing is, I didn't find out until I was 50 years old. It's one of those things. I still can't believe he was locked up for 2 years, released 2 days ago. It's been a long time. I'm passing out. Have a good night. Oh, wow, the stash was... You didn't think the stash was real? It's real. That's funny. So Salika came to see my play recently, and she's coming back with her dad in September to see my play here in New York City. And she didn't know my mustache was real. She thought it was a fake one, but I actually grow a mustache in when I play Charles Feltman. So if you come see my play, go to FeltmanWorldsFirstHotDog.com. I'm performing Wednesday in New York City, and Friday I'm bringing it to the Hamptons, East Hampton. So I'm excited. It's going to be great. Great venue, too. Do you ever think about the fact that high schools were able to make you cry? It's beautiful to see you again after you tried to kill Josh Block for your financial gain. Okay, I don't know. Megan and Elise? That was Megan and Elise. Yes, I love the play. Sure, you don't really, I know your numbers are acoustic jag. She's like, I thought you didn't have facial hair. I do. This is real facial hair, Salika. And I think maybe eventually I'd like to do maybe a fake, if it works, the fake mustache. But every performance of my play, which I've probably done close to 100 now, because I brought it to Edinburgh a year ago for a month, I've always had real facial hair playing Charlie Feltman. Salika said, yes, I love the play. She loved it so much, she's bringing her dad in September to see my play again. That's how much she loved it. And I have people that had seen it even 3 times. They come back and bring other friends, or it's been astounding, and it's been, I hate to be cliche, a dream come true, but it's what I want to be doing. And, certain nights I do 2 performances. And like, how do you do 2 performances? Because I want to do it. No one's forcing me to do it. I'm my own boss. I financed it, produced it, wrote it, the only actor. It's what I want to be doing. So that's why I do it. I'm very fortunate. I'm retired, and now I could travel and perform and dedicate my life to my art and dedicate my life to, live my life as a humanitarian, like as a true humanitarian. At this age of my life, I'm very focused on the entire world, not just New York City, not just America, but the well-being and the health of people on this planet. Like, that's my number one priority. And speaking out. Because we live in a very selfish culture. The Western world is very selfish. It's all profit-driven. Religion is used as a mask. Nationalism. You break free of all that and just look at what things are. So that's where I am in my life right now. Enjoying it immensely. Spending time with friends, family, traveling the world, performing on stage, and saying fuck you to Donald Trump. Because I love people. And he's a shithead. He's an orange turd. He's a tangerine tyrant. He's a real piece of shit, that guy. And I've known him for years, his family. His father was my landlord in Brooklyn in the 70s, Fred. He was a real piece of shit. The Trumps were the only I ever heard of. In 1975, they were sued by the Department of Justice for racism and discrimination. President of the United States, everyone. It's true. I knew there were pieces of shit since my whole life. 100%. They're fucking pieces of motherfucking shit. That he's such a fucking asshole, Trump. I met him once, many decades ago, on Broadway. But he was a buffoon. He was, it was buffoonery. No one took him seriously. But he's playing all these dumb motherfuckers. Especially these uneducated assholes. These are the ones that drive the tractor truck and they have a 4th grade education. They're dumb motherfuckers. Anyone who supports that asshole. What a fucking piece of shit he is. You gotta be fucking ashamed of yourself. Look how, and I love how MAGA's like, yeah, but he's getting rid of all the illegals. Dude, look at this fucking war right now. Look at gas prices. You fucking kidding me? Give it up, motherfucker, you dumb asshole. A lot of you on Facebook who are tuning in, you're streaming right now. You can comment if you want to say anything. I have TTS set up also, so I can hear you. TTS is set up. This is Michael Quinn. I can't see your comments because I'm also streaming through Twitch, through Facebook, and YouTube. So press the button underneath the live, and you'll come into my Twitch, and I could read the comments. I can't read your comments right now. And it's crazy, all the comments I read after I stop the live. I go into my YouTube, I go into my Facebook, and people think I'm reading the comments, but I can't unless you come into Twitch. And the link is right below the screen. Yes, I love the play. I thought you didn't have faith. You are very well spoken. You have this energy that draws people to you. You are positive and just kind person. I'm just a great guy, too. Thank you. Diaper Donnie. Yep, he hired Roy Cohn to help with that case. That's correct. Roy Cohn also represented Steve Rubell from Studio 54. Remember, they got convicted of tax evasion, and Roy Cohn was their lawyer. Ignorant, yes, he woke up the Bible Belt. Listen, you know it, Salika. Well, Reagan did first. Reagan was the first that said, these evangelicals, the religious base. He's like, they kind of been left in the dust with the Democrats. So it was really with Reagan he started to kind of grab that voting base, pretending they're all religious and shit. So I have Mr. Fiat Hag. Not going to lie, man. I regret ever voting for Trump. Guy is 100% a traitor and Israel first. Well, listen, I'm glad you came to your senses, and that's why I spend every day just trying to explain to people. And the thing that's really difficult about living in the Western world, like our country is up there with North Korea as one of the most propagandized nations in the world. People, especially these boomers that watch Fox News, religion, nationalism, it really makes you blind to what's really going on. You know what I'm saying? And that's why you see this whole thing, how anti-Semitism is weaponized to let Israel do what they want. So you don't support them killing 70,000 innocent children. You hate Jews. That's which doesn't make sense at all. It's being used as a weapon. It's kind of like a form of gaslighting. But I could have told you that about Trump even before he even got into politics. I mean, the motherfucker, his whole entry into politics was stating that Obama wasn't born in America. So right off the bat, the guy's full of fucking shit. He just started off the bat with wacky conspiracy theories. And then once he saw, people are believing me, let me test them more. Wow, no matter what I say, they're going to believe it. They're fucking idiots. He wants to be prime minister of Israel. Yeah, I think so. Tel Aviv, whatever. It's crazy, I know. And Pete Kegsbreath, he has balls to want all this money for this war. Meanwhile, there are children who have, all around the world, not just the United States, was it the USAID and the SNAP benefits? Like 1 million children are starving because we had to cut waste, because they said it was like waste that, 1 million children, United States children, are now starving because it was just wasteful feeding them with this money. It's better off using $1 trillion to kill people who don't know. Like to kill a school full of innocent girls. That's where the money truly needs to be used and not wasted. But those 1 million children that are starving because, pulled their SNAP benefits away. I mean, think about it. 100%, bro. I was 17 in 2026. I wish I knew sooner. I was just impressionable. That's the issue. What do you think they indoctrinate you in such a young age? Right? You're like a sponge. So It's very important to think for yourself, trust your own instincts, do a lot of reading. What do you think they whitewash history? What do you think they want to prevent? The Republicans want to prevent slavery or anything to do with that. They want to take it out of textbooks. Why don't they tell the truth about history? Why do they have to make everything whitewashed? You know, it's like they're looking through history books the same way they look through the Epstein files and deleting Trump's name. You know, but the great thing about it is when I was a kid, we didn't have the internet. First time I ever went online in my life, I was a senior in college. I was literally graduating college, first time I went online. So I didn't have that at all during my career in education, the internet, even going online. I didn't have any of that. I had to go, if I wanted to read or look, search for something, I had to go to the library. I would take the bus to Grand Army Plaza in Brooklyn. So I just had to believe what I was told because I had no other sources of information but what I was told. But now you have the internet and you could get together, and I think that's why you see all these movements, because people can actually question the truth. And although there's a lot of falsehoods out there, obviously, but if you're smart enough, you could question everything and come up with your own conclusions. But when you're indoctrinated, you know, at a young age, it's very, very difficult. But let me tell you something, it's rewarding. Once you get to that part of your life, you're like, fuck, man, I was indoctrinated my whole life. I was told to believe this. I was told to hate these people. I was told that Muslims are evil. I was told that, like, I can't go walk through black neighborhoods. I was like, all this stuff that you're told. And you come to your own conclusions. It's very liberating when you challenge those beliefs that you've had your entire life. It is cathartic. It is a liberating feeling when you can trust yourself and your own rational thinking and critical thinking skills because you have it. Yes, U.S. citizens are hurting. The MAGAs don't think these people work. They work. They don't get a living wage, and they need welfare to supplement their income. I remember in the early 90s, people treated a computer like gold. Kids were not allowed on it. Well, I had a Commodore 64 in the 80s, mid-80s. All I did was play video games on it. I mean, remember, this is before the internet. I mean, Commodore, you could like type letters and shit. There was no emails at the time. The email didn't exist. I'd get like an Atari stick, and we had the floppy disk, and I'd copy games and play games on the Commodore 64. But like, whoa, I have a computer, though. I felt like Matthew Broderick in War Games, you know, or Weird Science. You ever see Weird Science? It's like, how did they do that? Could someone teach me how to make a beautiful woman with my computer? I used to love that movie, Weird Science. It's like, I want to be those guys. Hey, what's up? What are you up to today? Thanks for joining again. I'm glad we have a bunch of people. It's 11:30. I've been streaming an hour and a half. So I never had Atari, and I was jealous. Oh, my God, when I was a kid. My God, if I was at a relative's house, a cousin's house, a friend's house, I was so shy. But I'm like, can you ask if I could play the Atari? I wanted to play Atari so badly because I didn't have it at home. I was like, God, I want to play Atari, please. Could someone set it up for me? I want to play Atari. I wanted to play so badly when I was like a child. And then my parents were like, no, there's a new thing. It's called ColecoVision. And we got ColecoVision. ColecoVision looked like a 1980s telephone in like a car with a wire. It looked like a phone. And the first game I got from ColecoVision was a game called Donkey Kong. So I got to play Donkey Kong on ColecoVision. That was great. And then a couple of years later, Nintendo came out. We got Nintendo. And Nintendo came with the gun for Duck Hunt, because you got Duck Hunt. And then you got the Rob. I don't know if you remember this, who's old enough to remember Rob the robot. There was literally a robot that would come with Nintendo when it first came out. And you put it on the floor. It was this little sofa thing that moved really slow. And it's like, dude, I'm playing video games with a robot. It was fucking terrible. It was terrible, but it was a gimmick to get people to buy it. So I had ColecoVision, then Nintendo. And I didn't get anything beyond Nintendo. I didn't get into Xbox or any of that shit because I became too old by then. You know, but I played a lot of video games at the they call them pizza parlors or pizzerias. People realize, like, back then in the 80s and 70s, pizzerias were like a gathering place for teenagers to hang out, play video games, and eat pizza. It's not anymore. You don't see kids hanging out at pizzerias. And I guess the video arcade is in there because kids have it on their phones or their Xboxes. But we used to play a game called Kung Fu Master. It's probably back in like 1984. Every pizzeria had Kung Fu Master. I love that game. The drop kicks and it was almost like Super Mario. It was like almost like Donkey Kong, but with like Bruce Lee. Kung Fu Master was called. I used to love that game. I used to put my quarters, like the quarters would be on top of the game. You know, you would line them up. And then there was this place, another pizzeria that was short-lived in the neighborhood. And they had one of those video games that were gambling, like slot machines. And we were like maybe 12 years old. And me and my friend George would play it and pump money into it. And the pizzeria owner would, like, if we won, would give us fucking cash. It was literally gambling. We were 12 years old at this pizzeria, and he would pay out. And we sit there, 12 years old, like smoking cigarettes with our dollars, hoping it gets hot. I mean, this is like Brooklyn. It's 12 years old. Like we're at the fucking Bellagio, man. This shit used to go down. I'm live on Twitch right now. This is Michael Quinn. I'm only reading comments on Twitch. I've never had an Xbox or a PlayStation because I think I don't know when they came out, but I was probably close to, if not yet, adulthood. So I wasn't really, I mean, kids are different these days. I think adults play video games these days. But for me, it was kids in the 80s. No adults were like buying video games. It's just, you know. But I think now it's just, I think maybe, I mean, you tell me, I'm not into the video game culture. You know, I haven't been into the video game culture in, Jesus, you know, probably 40 years. It's a long time, a lifetime ago. Yeah, the pinball machines were cool. Yeah, but you have to remember, I was already, when was that? What year was that? I just wasn't into the video games at the time. You know, my mind was somewhere else. I was probably going to college. I was probably like chasing girls around, saving money, modeling, working for Chippendales. I don't know. I was doing all type of stuff in the 90s. Yeah, I had a lot of jobs in the 90s. But my mom and dad told me, Michael, you get your college degree, you do whatever the fuck you want. Not only did I have my college degree, I got 2 master's degrees and then 60 credits over that. And then I went to the American Academy of Dramatic Arts. Then I studied with Uta Hagen and all that to have parts on soap operas and act off Broadway. And then I got a gig working as a stripper for Chippendales back in the 90s, which was far out. Oh, early 2000s? My brother was even gone by then. Oh, fuck. I was an adult, man, early 2000s. You know, I was like probably like my late 20s. I was, you know. Yeah, I used to perform a lot of bachelorette parties. Bachelorette parties. Yeah, bachelorette parties. Not bachelor parties. I didn't sign up for that shit. No fucking way. Bachelorette parties. No, I wasn't. But here's something funny. So, my brother was alive at the time. I had my 2 younger brothers at home, and this is before the internet. And I think it was Tuesdays or Thursdays at the newsstand at Astor Place. I would pick up a copy of Backstage, and I would peruse through the auditions. And it was a full page ad. And it said, Chippendales has returned. We're recruiting, you know, new dancers, strippers, models. You have to be 6'2", ripped, you know, handsome. And I'm like, okay, I fit all that. That's my baby. I'm going to go audition for it. And I went down there and I did a little act for them, a little moon, a little whatever. And the guy who ran Chippendales at the time, he was from Canarsie. His name was Gary Goldman. So he sits there, he has a rough voice. He used to like date Brooke Shields, this guy. He's sitting there, Quinn, are you from Southern Brooklyn? Oh, you born in Coney Island and lived in Sheepshead Bay? I'm from Canarsie. I'm a Canarsie guy. So right now I'm thinking like, maybe I'll get this job with making this Brooklyn connection. So he goes, you ever hear of South Shore High School? I'm like, sure, I know South Shore in Canarsie. My father was the head baseball coach for 42 years. I'm like, Mr. Goldman? Oh my God, your father's an absolute legend. I had no fucking idea who Mr. Goldman was. He was like, oh, you know my dad? It's like the next day I get a call. They're like, you got the job. And what a job it was, man. Oh, God. But I always had these jobs where I make a lot of cash. You know, I also worked at McSorley's too for a while. You know, all these jobs, like I leave with like $400 in cash, which, 30 years ago was a lot of money. Today it's like a round of drinks. But back then, if you made $400 30 years ago, I mean, you have to remember 30 years ago when I would go out in the city, $40 was a good night out. Totally. If you had two 20s and you were going out in Manhattan on a Friday, Saturday night, 1995, fucking set. Because beers were like $2. There was no Uber. Like a cab ride was like $5. Wohop was like cheap. The Corner Bistro, the burgers were $3 back then. So you were set with $40. Some places had cover charges, but it was never like more than $10 if you went to one of the, like the Limelight or one of those places. So 30 years ago in New York City, $40 went a long way. Today, it won't even get you out of the fucking house. Once a gay guy bought a male stripper to give me a lap dance at a gay club. I didn't feel anything, but I think the stripper did. He asked if I had a cigarette later, if I could drop him home. Oh my God. Big deals. Not to distract, but what do you think of Portnoy? He's been quite outspoken recently. He's a New Yorker who hates Mamdani, yes. Nantucket lover. First of all, Portnoy is not a New Yorker. He has a business that has its headquarters in New York. I think he has an apartment. He may still own it, I don't know, on 14th Street. I think he sold his apartment on 14th Street. My brother met him. I never met him. I had a working relationship with Frank the Tank for a while. I just wealthy people don't like Mamdani because he's making them fucking pay taxes. I think it's simple as that. And I know some wealthy people who love him because they're like, I don't care. I could pay taxes and still live wherever the fuck I want. Like, the point is, like, what's the point of being rich if you can't live wherever you want? So you're telling me someone who's insanely rich, because they have to pay taxes, and it's not taxes what's going to change their lifestyle. Like, some of them don't actually pay taxes. So someone who's insanely rich who has to pay taxes, you're going to say, I can't afford to live in New York City anymore because if you're that rich, you can live wherever the fuck you want. And this whole thing about the second apartment tax makes a lot of sense. So if you're rich and we need housing here in New York City, and you buy a second apartment worth $5 million and no one's fucking living there and it's just sitting there, you should be fucking taxed for it because you're taking up space in the city and people need housing. Right? So keep it, but pay the tax so it helps other people that need to live. So it helps with affordability. I mean, that makes total fucking sense. What I think is funny is like, they have all these Jewish experts when it comes to New York pizza. And Scott, I love. Scott's a great guy. Scott Wiener. We're going to probably do a collab this summer. And, it's just funny that these people not from New York. Okay, so for instance, like Portnoy, he's Jewish, he's from New England. He's coming to fucking New York or Brooklyn, where I'm older than Portnoy and I've had this pizza before he was born. You're going to tell me what's good pizza where I grew up? A scrawny Jewish guy from Boston is going to tell someone who grew up in Brooklyn where to eat fucking pizza. I'd rather have Fat Vito from 86th Street. He's going to give me better recommendations. But it's just hilarious, But the funny thing is, me and Portnoy, we do have the same taste. I do like crispy pizza. I think New Haven. I like New Haven pizza, but the only thing is, I like pizza where there's a lot of cheese and sauce. I just feel like a New Haven pizza, it's like, where's the cheese? Remember that commercials back in the 80s? Where's the beef? It's like, where's the cheese? And I think the New Haven pizza is good, but I think you got to order it with extra cheese. And I like a well-balanced pizza, you know. Usually if I'm going to New Haven, to Frank Pepe's, whatever, or Sally's or whatever, often I'll get the clam pie because there's not too many places that have the clam pie in New York. And usually if I'm going up to Boston, I'm heading that way, I'll make a pit stop in New Haven. But it's crazy over there. Christ, man. You know, I think every day, like trying to get a spot, you usually got to park by the park over there. But if you go down where all those pizzerias are, it's kind of stressful. It's like Times Square with a bunch of pizzerias in New Haven. I don't think he has complained about how he can't live there anymore, but I think he hates someone Donnie's creating a situation where no one will want to invest in housing in New York City area. Brooklyn pie is so good. Portland does know his pie. I like the New Haven overall bar style pizza. Neapolitan makes me happy too. When you say invest in housing, like what do you mean by that? Like private equity, just buying up houses and then making it not affordable for ordinary people to live? Or just people that are just insanely rich and just want an extra couple of apartments in the city? So what do you mean by like that? I'm live on Twitch right now. Come on board. This is Michael Quinn. I can only read your comments if you're on Twitch with me. Come on board. I'm live on Twitch. I'm only answering questions on Twitch. I also have TTS set up. So if you go to twitch.tv, this is Michael Quinn. I am now streaming on Twitch every single evening. And I'm done with TikTok. I'm retiring TikTok. And my Twitch also streams. I pipe it in through my YouTube and also my Facebook page. But I can't see your comments unless you're on my Twitch. So you got to come on board right now. Hit the follow. Do me a favor, babe. To be a jag. And go to twitch.tv. This is Michael Quinn, and hit the follow button. Thirsty. Anybody feel like a good hot dog? So anyway, if you're in New York City, I'm performing my play this Wednesday at the 36th Street Theater. 2 performances at 5:30 and 7:30. You can buy tickets at Feltman, worldsfirsthotdog.com. Also, this weekend, I'm bringing my play to the Hamptons. So if you want to go to any of those performances out in East Hampton or in New York City Wednesday, East Hampton Friday night, all the information, the tickets, sales, and dates are at Feltman, worldsfirsthotdog.com. Make sure you give me a follow, be a jag, and give me a follow on Twitch. You're at the gym? Awesome. How you feel about the comp? I don't know what that means. I'm craving a slice of pizza right now. I'm in no bed. So you're out in Pennsylvania. Any good pizza in Pennsylvania? I remember going to Pennsylvania once. There's some pretty shitty places in Pennsylvania. I remember one place I went. It was so bad. They put Kraft Sinkles on the pizza, like yellow cheese in Pennsylvania. It's pretty backwards out there. So, Salika, is there any good pizzerias where you live in Pennsylvania? For those who are on the platforms, I'm only reading comments on Twitch. So you have to go to twitch.tv. This is Michael Quinn. And I will read your comments. And you could also use the TTS feature. I have TTS set up. So I can hear your comments. There's no filter on the TTS. So you can say whatever you want. I think it's a $5 donation, and then also you could type whatever you want in the chat box, and I'll read your posts or your chat posts out loud. Many of you are tuning in from Facebook and also my YouTube account. So, but I can't read your comments. So usually when I stop the live, I go to my YouTube account, and I go to my YouTube, and I go to my Facebook, and I see comments there, and I'm like, dude, I can't read the comments, only on Twitch, the Twitch chat box. Yeah, he argued against rent freeze and shifting the security deposit. In my opinion, background checks are illegal, and I'm a landlord. I don't rent those who just put up the full payment and signing. So the whole rent freeze thing, it's not every landlord of the city. Okay. And they vote on it. There's a board that votes on it. So basically what's happening, the landlords are not investing in keeping up with the property. So he's going after those landlords. And there's nothing wrong with, it's not a permanent freeze. It's just every 2 years, I think the board votes on it. And it's been done before. It's not the first time it's been done. And it was a campaign promise of him because the city is so unaffordable. I could afford the city, and it's okay. I'm not bragging about it. I could afford it. I lived here my whole life. I'm not going to be priced out of here. I'm fine. But there are people that I feel bad for that lived here, that were born here, that can't live here anymore, who work here and can't live here. So I think what he's doing is noble. And I think he's listening to the average voter, not some private equity CEO or some, those people are already successful, man. They can live whatever the fuck they want. What about the person that was born into poverty? And they live in a place where the rent's raised every year and the landlord's not fixing their fucking toilet or the ceiling's leaking. That's who he's going after. Landlords, slumlords, as we call them. That's who he's going after. And I know, like, the New York Post and Fox News just blow shit up. Like, they don't even report the news using facts. Lorenzo's in Mercer County. Oh, hold on, give me a second. Someone wrote, are you friends with Frank the Tank? I used to be friends with Frank the Tank, but then he started bad-mouthing me because of my friendship with Joshua Block. And I think he's a real asshole now, Frank the Tank. I think he's a real... I deserve an apology from that fat fuck. Well, he's skinny now, actually. And I shouldn't say fat fuck because he's just... I don't know. He's the OG crash out, neurodivergent, autistic person. Like he made it a thing. Like he's like the godfather of autistic crash outs. That's how he made a name for himself. And he liked me when I was giving him money through my company. So my company that I owned was financing his podcast. And he got pissed because he didn't know I was selling the company. No one told him. And he felt like I just dropped him, but I actually sold my company. So there's new owners who decided they weren't going to continue financing his podcast. And then I think he got a little jealous, like him and his friend, when me and Joshua were on Barstool golfing. That's when it started to happen. It was weird. So he didn't start talking bad about me until like shortly after we were invited to be on Barstool Sports, me and Joshua, to play golf. And it was shortly after that he started bad-mouthing me. Like, why? I don't bad-mouth him. I think he was a little jealous. I think he thought that, so I was getting all this attention, I guess. I have no idea. I know he lost a lot of weight, which is great. I brought him, I introduced him to an egg cream. We went to, we grabbed hot dogs one day. We had an event there. And I said, do you have an egg cream? He goes, no, what the hell is that? And I said, obviously you're from New Jersey, not from New York City. And I brought him to the Lexington candy shop, me and Frank the Tank. And it's on video. It's transparent. You can see this video. And I go, yeah, we'll have a couple of egg creams. And he liked it. He's like, this is great. So then we decided to take the subway downtown from there. And he couldn't get on the subway. Like, he couldn't squeeze on. So he started having a fucking crash out in front of me. And he had this little chain, and he started biting on it, as they do, as one does. And that's, So, and it was embarrassing. I was like humiliated that I was actually with him. And you have to remember, Joshua's crash outs, they weren't really with me that much. Like, I can't think of too many times where he had a full blown, or any time, in my presence. If you think about it, like maybe that luggage thing, he had a little bit of it, but it wasn't like a full, you know what I'm saying? But Frank the Tank had a full crash out in front of me, and I was humiliated by it. And he owes me an apology because he was acting like a real fucking cocksucker. And especially someone who helped him with his podcast when I owned the company, who financed it with company money. And I never had any beef with him. I was always very friendly. We had a good business partnership. But I'm not really into the Barstool thing, man. It's not. I mean, it's for like it's for like college kids, I guess. I'm beyond that. There's many other things I like to do. Than go around to bars and place bets on Poly Market or whatever the fuck they do. Those people. I just have a different life. I'm trying to think where I left off with the comments here. The rest of Kentucky, no. Bucks County, Philly, Trenton. Oh, where in Trenton is good pizza? Lorenzo's in Mercer County. Oh, I heard of Lorenzo's. Isn't that a place like they run out of pies early? I think I heard of that place. Crow ordered from them while filming A Beautiful Mind. Overall, I sympathize with the argument of how people will be less likely to invest in housing. I think competition drives down prices. I don't know. It depends what type of housing. Do you know what I'm saying? It's vague, Mamdani's going after very specific landlords. But Fox News and New York Post are like, every landlord is not going to be able to charge what they want for rent. I mean, that's the Fox News, New York Post mentality. Because you have to keep it simple for the uneducated to understand it, where that's not he's going after slumlords, as he should, right? He's not going, that's who he's going after. And no other mayor has done that. And for me, I mean, I'm waiting for the guy to do something I'm pissed off about. He hasn't yet. And I've lived in this, I mean, I've been in this city since Abe Beam was mayor. So I've seen a few mayors. I've lived here through a few mayors. And he's the only mayor that really has been doing things instantly, too, not waiting on it. And it was almost like, oh, wow, you just had to push that switch and this could happen. It's like one of those type of things, Deed theft, kitty. Have you seen the video of Frank trying to grill ribs? I haven't seen that, but do you remember? Have you seen the video when the two of us went to McSorley's and he gave my hot dogs? My hot dogs were the first Grand Slam he ever gave. And we went to McSorley's. It's on YouTube. You could probably find it. First time he's ever been to McSorley's. I introduced him to egg creams. I introduced him to Feltman's hot dogs. I introduced him to McSorley's. I introduced him to the Lexington Candy Shop. All these things I introduced him to. I gave him New York culture. That's what I get. And what do I get back? So it's a really good segment, me and him at McSorley's. And it was a Monday at like 11 in the morning. And we have the front room. He's doing the segment. And who's in the back is Fred Savage, like directing a movie. And if you see Frank give the review, if you pause it, you'll see Fred Savage in the back of McSorley's. I'm like, this is wild. This is Monday at McSorley's. We got Frank the Tank, me and him doing a hot dog review, and Fred Savage directing a movie in the back. It was funny. I get you. It's not all housing for sure, but that'll impact people aren't massive apartment groups. Many are. Yeah, it was random. I don't think those are the people he's going after. I don't. I know the type of people he's going after, slumlords. For those, I'm only. What the fuck's going on here? I hate when they get the puzzle. They think you're a bot. I'm only live on Twitch, so come on board. This is Michael Quinn on Twitch. I'm only answering questions on Twitch. I'm blind to this. Thanks, pal. Thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. I'll be back on tomorrow night. I'm streaming live on Twitch on a daily basis now. Now that I got the tech all set up. But I hope we could have a conversation again. I have a few new followers. Oh, thank you. Yeah. Eric Felder, thanks for the follow. Kim Blackwell, thanks for the follow. If you follow me, I give you a shout out. If you post on my Twitch chat box. I give you a shout out and I read the comment. And I also have TTS set up. So if you want it to be audio, if I can hear what you have to say, I have TTS set up only on Twitch. And I have a handful of subs right now. I'm at affiliate status, which is great. Oh, you called me MAGA a few days ago, but my opinions are very nuanced, I promise. Take care, my friend. Okay, have a good night, pal. Maybe we'll talk tomorrow. I'll be on tomorrow evening. I am very ticklish. Oh, come on. I'm only answering questions on Twitch. So get your ass on Twitch. Be just a great gal, just a great guy. Be Jag. It's this is Michael Quinn on Twitch. So it's twitch.tv. This is Michael Quinn. And give this old man a follow, will you? Press the follow button. You could do it. No, I'm talking not to you, Daniel Block, a.k.a. Fart. I'm talking to the other guy. Hi, Jaggy Jag. What's up? What's up, Daniel Block, a.k.a. Fart? That's some nom de guerre you have. Oh, thank you. Yes, someone just said, did you see that Larson got out? I did find that out. I was going to shoot him a text just to see how he's doing. I still have his number. Yeah, I'm willing to help if he needs help with things. I tried, when he was living in New York, I was trying to reach out to certain organizations to get him housing, get him some kind of support. That's a total Jag move, So I was trying to help Larson when he was here. He didn't take the help. So I am now streaming on a daily basis on Twitch, every evening. If you haven't followed me now, give me a follow on Twitch. This is Michael Quinn is my Twitch handle. I have people watching. My Twitch is streaming through my Facebook and my YouTube. If you're posting comments on Facebook, YouTube, or TikTok, I will not be reading the comments. I can't see the comments on YouTube or Facebook, but there is a link underneath my stream will take you into Twitch. It'll transport you here, and I have a chat box, and I will read your chat messages out loud, and I'll give you a shout out if you come into Twitch. But I won't do it in any other platform because I can't see it. I also have TTS set up, and you can also give me a follow if you want to be Jag. And I also have a handful of subs at the moment, so it's been great. And I'm now doing this. I'm a full-time streamer now. I'm proud to say it. You could pin this one. Oh, yes. So I'm only answering questions on Twitch. So go to twitch.tv. This is Michael Quinn. And I'm doing it every evening. I'm streaming live on Twitch. And if you post something on Twitch, I will read it out loud. But only on Twitch. And I also have my TTS set up. There's a link to the TTS if you want to do that. Oh. I'm just putting the TTS link on the bottom. But thanks for joining, everyone. Thanks for coming in here. I've done officially 2 hours streaming tonight. Look at that. We've having a great conversation here. It's fucking Quinn University. It's better than Trump University, right? What a douchebag that guy is. I mean, I think what's interesting since I've been streaming, a lot of people, and I give them credit, not for voting for Trump, but admitting they fucked up. At least 2 people tonight had told me that. I don't know if I changed their mind, but maybe sometimes it's really fucking obvious they fucked up when you see this war in Iran and the gas prices and grocery prices. And the ones who were stubborn to be like, but Biden. Well, Biden's not the fucking president, asshole. You're blaming this shit on a retired cancer patient. Trump has to live up to it at this point, bro. Stop saying but Biden. You sound like him. It's just like, Even when those children that the United States killed in that bomb, they're like, "Oh, that was a while ago." Trump says that was a while ago. Now back to Obama. It's like, what the fuck's wrong with this guy? He's such an asshole. So anyone wants to comment, the only comments I'll be able to read out loud are the ones on Twitch. So go to twitch.tv. This is Michael Quinn. If you want to contribute, be part of my streaming show. I'm streaming every evening here from the Waldorf Astoria in Midtown Manhattan. And if you want to be a part of it, you just have to follow me. Give me a follow on Twitch. It's twitch.tv. This is Michael Quinn. See, Trump is a wacko. But I could have told you that in the 70s. I got dogged. Splash City said, I got dogged. Trump is a wacko. Fred Trump, his father was my landlord in Brooklyn back in the 70s. He came off as more of a gentleman, but he's also a racist motherfucker. What do you think Trump learned it from? And he's the only people that I know of, okay, who are sued by the Department of Justice for racism and segregation in 1975. It's out there. True. So right there, hello, red flag. He's an asshole, scumbag, racist motherfucker. So I'm glad that people are starting to wake up. He's killing the planet, man. He's killing us. He's killing everyone. He's literally like Lex Luthor, this fucking guy. Have you ever met Trump before? Yes, I did. It was me and my younger brother, Jimmy, who passed away. God rest his soul. He died in 9/11. We went to see Grease on Broadway many years ago. And my brother Jimmy was the type of guy who always wanted to take pictures with celebrities and meet celebrities. He was a kid at the time. So I brought him to see Grease, and it was intermission. And of course, he runs up the aisle, and I'm thinking, oh, he's going to the concession stand. He's going to the bathroom. He's going to see who he knows or whatever. He was that type of kid. So I walk up the aisle, and there my brother Jimmy is at the concession stand shooting the shit with Donald Trump and Marla Maples. And my brother goes, they would shoot the shit like they went to college together. So Jimmy's like, oh, Mike, this is, it's Donald Trump. And Marla. I said, oh, okay, hi, And I said, your dad was my landlord in the 70s. And he was just a clown. He's a buffoon. No one took him seriously. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't know who to compare it to today, but think like a buffoon actor that you would see. It was like if you saw Tom Green or something, someone like that. He was just a buffoon. No one took him seriously. He was just a caricature of a whatever. And we always knew he was a fucking asshole scumbag, but no one ever thought he would get into politics. I never knew he had any. And his only way he got into politics was making up lies about Obama. And I think he tried that first. He tested the waters. Let me see if people will believe that. He goes, Obama's not American. Show your birth certificate. And then all these people believed it. He goes, wow. He probably thought there's a lot more dumb motherfuckers than I thought. They'll believe any fucking lies I give them. And to this day, they still do. I mean, everything he fucking, like the 2020 election, he fucking lost the election. I mean, how many people investigated? How many different departments had looked into it? How many judges who looked? There's no voter fraud. He creates problems that don't exist. And then he acts like the hero. And he weaponizes. He's just an asshole. Also, Trump hates Musk now. Yeah, well, Musk is also neurodivergent. But it was terrible what he did with the, he's trying to prevent waste where there's no waste. Like cutting U.S. aid was such a sin because there are like millions of children in third world countries that are starving and dying of diseases right now because we cut U.S. aid to them. And also in our own nation with the SNAP benefits, there are a million children who are starving because we had to cut waste. We can't let children eat. We can't let children eat anywhere because we got to write a check. We need a check for $1 trillion to get involved with a war that makes absolutely no fucking sense. It's just shooting us in the fucking foot. He has no. You go into a war, and it's no. Like I don't. My brother obviously, went to West Point. Whatever. I know military officers because my family connection. When you get to a war, you're supposed to have objectives. He has no objective. And he changes his objective. He has imaginary objectives. We got rid of their Navy. Guess what? Their Navy was our Navy. We gave them their Navy. Um, it's crazy. Bush started doing that too in Iraq. He started kind of moving objectives, but at least he kind of went before Congress and lied his fucking ass off, but at least came up with a reasonable excuse and tried to present some kind of evidence. But Trump doesn't even give a fuck. I think they may have nukes in a few years. Meanwhile, Obama made sure, with his agreement, made sure they couldn't have nukes. The inspectors up the ass. But he couldn't give Obama credit. He has to fuck up everything that Obama did well and then blame Obama for it and then fuck it up himself and give himself credit and pat himself on the back. That's his whole fucking shtick. It's part of my Yiddish. Yeah, he said he thinks he's going to do a third term over my dead body. Get that motherfucker out of the White House. I want him out of the White House now. He cut my project of $37 million and the next day sent $40 billion to Argentina. Oh my God, America first, then, right? So what's your project? Are you in building? Are you in construction? If you want to participate, you have to come on Twitch because I'm only reading Twitch comments because I can only see them. So you have to go to twitch.tv. This is Michael Quinn's my handle. And that goes for you who are watching my stream on YouTube as well as Facebook. Oh, science. He cut my project with $37 million. Oh, okay. Yeah, with the farmers. Yeah. And how many farmers voted for him and now they're fucking losing their farms, losing their livelihood. But you know what's crazy? The people who are so stubborn, no matter how hard Trump hits them in the old dirt road, they're still, they don't want to admit they were wrong. You ever see those? Like, at least some MAGAs are like, wow, I was wrong about this guy. He's not America first. He's Israel first. He's himself first before Israel. I mean, what president makes billions of dollars while you're president? Like Jimmy Carter, I remember when he became president when I was a kid, he had to give up his fucking peanut farm. A peanut farm. So it didn't look like it was a conflict of interest, like he was using his presidential power to sell more fucking peanuts. This guy's got fucking crypto fucking scams up the fucking ass. He's making billions of dollars. He's all about furthering himself. And he wants to put his name on everything. Fuck you. He wants to turn Penn Station into Trump Station. Meanwhile, people are starving. They're on fucking food lines. Can't afford gas to go on vacation. Can't afford groceries. They lost their health care. Like, these are things that are important to people. People elect public officials so they're able to live comfortably, have a job, affordability, have housing, have health insurance. These are the important things. This is why we elect these people. Trump just takes it all away and gives himself everything. And then, it doesn't take much intelligence and critical thinking skills to see what the fuck's going on here. But there's so many MAGAs that are just so fucking, bold with their thinking that, or they feel like they can't admit they were wrong. And Trump makes America and his name seem like it's your favorite football team. Like it's like a fucking team. It's not. It's like it's a brand and a team. It's not, man. This is serious shit, man. People are dying every day from our tax dollars, whether it's Gaza, whether it's kids being starved because cutting U.S. aid, whether it's people by ICE here in the streets, whether it's SNAP benefits being cut. I mean, it's all death and destruction. But if you say anything against it, you're anti-Semitic, or you're anti-American, or you're a communist. You see how well propagandized we are? I'm not. You know what I'm saying? That's propaganda. Like, they do evil things. They kill people, make people sick. They get away with it. But if you don't support this, you're against religion, you're against America. It doesn't make sense, but that's why propaganda works. It doesn't make sense. It makes or tries to make sense of something that doesn't make sense, but it really doesn't make sense. If you know what I mean. I'm not okay. So this guy, give me a second. Also, see. I got a few. I have to read these comments. Hold on. I saw Trump saying I saw that. The project. Michael Quinn went from taking advantage of an autistic kid to crying on the internet over Trump. Funny. Lay off the benzos. Little bro, we all know about your problems. I never took advantage of kids or autistic kids. Never had any type of business dealings. So that's debunked right there. I'm not crying over the internet. It's not about Trump. I feel bad for the people he's fucking over, including yourself and probably your family. Let me see what else he said. Hold on 1 second. I'm trying to get this. I'm trying to read this. Okay. Oh, maybe I'll do it this way. Okay. So, okay. The Trump thing. Funny. Lay off the benzos. I don't take benzos, by the way. Little bro. I'm not your bro, and I'm not fucking little, bro. I'm 6'3", bro. I'm not little. Mr. Grog, that is. I'll give Mr. Grog a shout out. So I'm only reading comments on Twitch, so you're wasting your time if you're doing on YouTube. I also have the TTS set up too. Also, Michael, how can you insult other people when you grifted off? I can't read. Hold on. You grifted off. There's a bunch of comments now. I'm trying to read them. Okay. Michael Quinn, this is Mr. Grog again. Michael Quinn, how can you insult other people when you grifted off an autistic alcoholic for money? I've never made money off of any autistic alcoholic. So you're fucking wrong. And if you knew the lore well, which you don't, you're just a pseudo-intellectual, a term I learned from Andy Warhol when I met him. If anything, I gave him money. I gave him a free place to stay. I paid his bills. You really thought there was fucking money in his fucking tours? Where was I? First of all, I was taking money from him. He'd be the first to tell you. So if anything, I gave him thousands of dollars, never made a fucking penny. I just met assholes like you. That's it. Who have nothing better to do. Oh, this guy's a great troll. He's loving it. Okay. Oh, wait. I gotta get better in. Oh, here we go. I'll just do it like this. Finn Birthsissel 59 said we should be united as a team. Who the fuck are you talking to? You're not reading the chat. Well, that's the thing. Trolls are not very good at reading, especially Mr. Grog here. Mr. Grog, if he knew the lore, would know that I'm not a grifter. I was already wealthy before I met Josh. And I let him stay at my apartment for free. I gave him money. I paid his bills. So obviously, he's probably fucking illiterate. Obviously, he's a troll. Let me see. The benzo's making it, Michael, can't even read a simple sentence. So I don't take benzos, by the way. You are on two things, liberal propaganda and benzos. We know what type of man you are, Michael. That's Mr. Grog. I don't take benzos. I don't believe in propaganda. And I'm not a liberal. I'm against liberals, actually. I'm not a liberal. I'm just someone with common sense who likes to read and knows history. And I'll debate any of you motherfuckers. If you have enough balls to come on my Twitch, which you don't because you're a bunch of fucking pussies. At twitch.tv, this is Michael Quinn. I'll debate any of you motherfuckers. I'll beat you up with my mind, bro. You're gonna get shit. Go fuck yourself. Finn Birthsey said you are a liar. I think he's talking to Mr. Grog, I believe. Mr. Grog says, Oh, I'm sure, Michael. And then you blew it, all of it on benzos. Literally everyone knows you're addicted to benzo. I never had a benzo in my life. I think you ought to bend over in your life right up the fucking Hershey Highway, you fucking ass pirate. Which is fine. If that's what you do, that's fine. I have a lot of friends that are like that. I'm not, but you probably are. You sold a small-time hot dog stand for less than $1 million. You weren't rich. I didn't never owned a hot dog stand. I owned a national brand. And that's it. Homophobia is crazy, Mike. I have a lot of friends that I'm not homophobia at all. You see this painting right here? That's done by my Aunt Jane. You know, Jane County is my aunt. Your hot dog stand was barely even popular in New York. Trust me, you're not rich. All right. I trust myself. Remember, I said earlier, trust yourself than other people. I'm not going to trust you. Like, that makes no sense. Like, trust me, you're not rich. Like, I know what I am, so what do I have to trust you? Except you used gay sex as an insult. It wasn't an insult. I just figured that's what he's like. It's no big deal. I have lots of friends who are. I'm live on Twitch right now. No, I'm live on Twitch. Come on board. This is Michael Quinn. Big Doggy Dog says, what's your favorite hot dog toppings? Well, what Charles Feldman liked, which when he invented the hot dog in 1867, would be like mustard, sauerkraut, and onions. I don't like the yellow mustard. It looks like baby shit. Ketchup's a sin. I kind of think I'll take back that take it up the ass comment. I want to take that back, even though he probably does, but there's nothing wrong with that. But I think Mr. Grago, whatever the hell his name is, I think he's the type of guy who puts ketchup on a hot dog. You put ketchup? No. Now that's an insult. That's a good insult. You put a ketchup on a hot dog? No. French fries, burgers, not hot dogs. But I think like sauerkraut, onions, mustard. But like the brown mustard, not the yellow shit. J246, how's Mayor Flanagan doing after his incident? I hear from Flanny once in a while. I think he's doing fine, you know. Once in a while I get a text from him. I like to meet up. I think he's just a great guy. Last week I got a text from Based. But Based, it's like kind of strange, BASDE. Because like he'll send me a fucking text out of the blue, and then I'll like answer, he'll ask me a question or share a video or something out of the blue. And then I'll respond to it that I don't hear back from for like a few weeks later for another like out of the blue text. So once in a while I get text messages from Based, and once in a while I get a Flanny text. You know, I like Flanny. Flanny's a good guy, man. He's just a great guy, Flanny. Have you talked to or heard from Daniel Larson since he got out? I haven't. I have his phone number. I haven't spoken to him at all, but if he needs help with anything, I'd be glad to get. When he was here, I offered him help. I offered him some kind of support, professional help, trying to get him. I think I did. I called a few people, try to get him some kind of housing because he was living in the subway at the time, if you recall. It's crazy. These people find me. I don't find them. You know? I don't find they find me for some reason. I don't know. But I'm more than willing to help him get his life straightened out, you know? I would to debate you, Mike. I'm Republican. Don't fuck with Trump. I think we agree with a lot of stuff regarding ICE and the war in Israel. Okay. I think we disagree with the war in Iran. So you're for the war in Iran. You're for that. This war is just a mess. and we were not directly threatened by Iran. And you can't say, well, they say death to America. Can you blame them? Can you blame them? Like what the United States has done to destabilize the Middle East since 1953. And you know what happened in 1953, right? Don't you know of Operation Ajax? I love how these people say like, oh, 1979, they started it. No, they didn't. First of all, 1979, it was fucking university students who did it. It was literally university students who held the hostages. And they did it because of the United States, who took out, using the CIA, took away a democratically elected president who wanted to nationalize the oil, meaning giving their resources to other people instead of England and the United States, and then replaced him with a brutal dictator, the Shah. And that's caused the revolution of 1979. So it's very easy, it's very convenient, especially for the people on the right, to leave out history. You know, it's a very MAGA thing to do. You know, redacting, like the Epstein files, slavery doesn't exist. The United States never fucked with Iran. It's Iran started it. So they very conveniently pick and choose what is real or should be part of history to benefit their agenda. I'm not being it's not being handled well. The coup, yes. This presidency, so Big Doggy Dog said this presidency is a true disaster. And I predict it would be. I predicted the first one would be. I've known the Trump family since the 70s. Again, his father was my landlord. And I grew up in New York City in the 70s and 80s during the whole rise of Donald Trump, right? He started becoming a name in the late 70s when he took over the Commodore Hotel, which was literally handed to him for free. Huge subsidies and tax breaks, because when I was born in New York City in the 70s, New York City was really, really bad shape. Really bad shape. Like just near bankruptcy. And would have been bankrupt if Governor Carey stepped in. It was a good family friend of ours. But my point is, the Commodore Hotel was literally, he used his dad's name and his dad's money to get that hotel for an insane discount because nobody wanted to invest in Manhattan. Fred Trump did not want to invest in Manhattan. He was happy being a slumlord in Queens and Brooklyn, you know. But he used his dad's credit, his dad's money, his dad's name to get the Commodore Hotel to turn into the Grand Hyatt. And then he kept bankrupting, stiffing people. I mean, he's a whole trail, like a fucking train wreck. You know? I mean, more financial baggage than fucking JFK Airport Trump has. I mean, just look at the trail of him fucking people over. And how do you bankrupt numerous casinos? It's literally, casinos literally print fucking money. Literally print fucking money. So here's a guy who fucked everyone over, a con man, you know, bankrupted numerous casinos, and you're surprised he doesn't know how to run the fucking United States of America. Hello? Okay, this is good. So Finn Birdsey 59 said, the biggest problem I have with Iran is them dumping money into terrorists. Now, hold that thought, okay? You know, hold that thought. I'm not going to criticize you yet. What does the United States do? Are you telling me the United States doesn't dump money into terrorism? Just answer yes or no. Does the United States dump our tax money into terrorism? And I'll also challenge, they say that Iran, and I'm going to say Iran is the largest state sponsor of terror in the world. And I'll challenge that. Do you know who is the largest funder of state-sponsored terrorism in the world? By far, the United States of America. You can look at our history. Look at Latin America in the 80s. You know, we trained those terrorists against the Soviets in Afghanistan who became Al-Qaeda. I mean, we totally have Iran beat. as far as funding terrorism in the United States. But we don't call it terrorism. We call it freedom. Ronald Reagan, when I was a kid, he called them freedom fighters. Freedom fighters. So when we do it, they're called freedom fighters. When they do it, it's terrorism. Make it make sense. Okay. Israel obviously is, I hate when they say Israel has a right to exist. Human beings have a right to exist, period. Whether they're Israeli, whether they're Palestinians, whether they're Americans, people have a right to exist if they're alive and have a good life. And that's the antithesis of what MAGA, these Republicans, want. Okay? So Israel expanding into the settlements. Israel prefers expansion over security, right? And what they're doing, killing children, taking away their homes, taking up real estate. Okay? Do people forget about that? Or is Iran and the Palestinians, Hamas, and are they supposed to just like not do anything? Because usually what happens is if you're attacking someone with bombs or stealing their land or starving them or sanctions, which the United States love doing, usually there's a response to that. Like, let's turn it around. Let's say the neighborhood, I don't know where you live in a neighborhood. Let's say a nation came in and bombed your school, and raped your women, took away your land, took away your resources, and you responded to that. Would you be right, or would you be considered a terrorist? So I think many people don't open their minds. They only have a one-dimensional way of thinking, which is like Fox News thinking. But if you really kind of look and put your sense of nationalism and your sense of religion in the background and see what's in front of you, you'll see the world a lot differently. And that's more about trusting your own rational thinking, your own critical thinking. And we're not trained. We're indoctrinated not to think on our own. We're indoctrinated to, say this person's a terrorist. They're bad guys. It's always bad versus good, right? Anyone that's opposed to us is bad, But when we do it, it's good. When we kill innocent civilians or fund terrorism, it's good because we're freedom fighters. But when they do it, it's bad. Think about it. Take some time. I'll give you time to think about it. Okay, have you heard from Josh at all? I haven't heard from him in a few months. I am not being handled well. The coup, yes. The biggest problem I have, the benefit to bank accounts as well. What are your top 5 restaurants I should try in New York when I visit? When are you visiting New York? Do you like fancy restaurants or just like what type of restaurants? Like, I'll tell you ones that I really like. I think the best restaurant in New York City right now is Borgo. Borgo is on 27th between Lexington and Park Avenue South. Borgo is fantastic. It's only been there like maybe 2 years. If that, maybe a year and a half. I don't know. Borgo, put that on your list. A little upscale. Like, you don't have to get dressed up necessarily, but it's very, very good. Where did I go? Oriana the other night, I think it's called. I think it's what it's called. Andy Quinn's place. I went there 2 nights ago. That's located on Mott and Broome. That was very, very good. Pizza. It's just crazy growing up in New York in the 70s and 80s. Nobody was going crazy over fucking food. Nobody had cameras. No one's rating it. It's not a swimsuit competition. It's something you eat to live. It's I hate saying this is the best of this. I'm going to tell you the places that I like. I like the Farah very much. Grew up eating John's of Bleecker. I like Ceres is new. That's very good. I'd go for John's of Bleecker. Little Charlie's pretty good too across the street. And they deliver to my apartment. But burgers, I love the Corner Bistro. I've been going there for 50 years. Pretty damn expensive now. I haven't been to the East Village location. Steaks, all these steakhouses are great. If you go to Peter Luger's, Smith & Wollensky, Keen's, I'm going there soon. But don't go anywhere where you have to wait online. Although I do like Apollo Bagels very much. My daughter turned me on to Apollo Bagels. I do like it. And it's not as bad as you think. You look, oh man, this place is crowded. It's like a well-oiled machine. You get online, they're pretty fucking quick, and they got the oranges, the fresh orange juice. So I like Apollo bagels but they don't have many options, but the options they do have, the bagels are very good. Okay, also the leadership in Iran and the way they treat their people is despicable. Okay, that's your statement. Okay, I'm not challenging you. That's your statement. And I do agree with that statement. But Saudi Arabia, how do they treat their people? Do you know that Saudi Arabia makes Iran look like a civil rights paradise? Look at Saudi Arabia. We have no problem with them executing people who are gay or beating up women for driving cars because they're sitting on all the oil. And not only that, Trump wants to help them start their nuclear program. Does that make sense to you? So Iran is pretty extreme. They treat their people like shit. But Saudi Arabia is much worse. And we want them to develop a nuclear program, and we're help financing it. We were very close with Iran before the revolution. What if Saudi Arabia decides to turn on us, like what we did to Iran in turning on us? Where did all the 9/11 hijackers come from? Do you know Osama bin Laden's background? So you see what I'm talking about? Like, break free of the indoctrination and use your critical thinking skills. Do some reading, learn history, and come up with conclusions on your own. And I hope they're different than mine. I don't want you to repeat what I'm telling you. I'm just telling you how I observe and read and comprehend what's going on in the world, instead of what's being tossed around on Fox News, or maybe some family members, your drunk uncle who's MAGA, whatever. Trust yourself. Look at the evidence and come up with your own conclusions. And don't be brainwashed by religion or nationalism. Right? I'm live on Twitch right now. Come on board. I disagree. American are doing it too. My grandmother was a member of the IRA. That's why my family came over here. My grandmother was a 19-year-old gun runner for the IRA. And my family looked at America the same way they looked at Great Britain. But they were forced to come here. And luckily, my grandmother met my grandfather on the boat ride over, and they settled in Brooklyn. One person's freedom fighters, another person's terrorists, They did it with the IRA and Tigers and others. Who do you think will run for the Democratic Party? Let's see. I got to get used to doing this because I'm like, who do you think will run for the Democratic Party, Republican Party? I think probably Vance and Rubio will be Republican. I think that's a good bet. Trump will push for that because it'll keep his agenda going. I'm sure Vance will keep all the tacky Russian fucking ornaments in the White House and his name all over the place. Democratic Party's tough. I'm hoping someone young. I'm hoping someone that's a Democratic Socialist. I think the Democratic Party has to go all in on that because that's what people want, is Democratic Socialism, whether they know it or not. I'm not talking communism or even socialism. And that's another thing, they're going back to McCarthyism with this communism. There's no communism in the United States. And there's a big difference between communism, socialism, and democratic socialism. Okay? So communism obviously is something completely different. Government control, industry, all that stuff. Socialism means the workers control the means of production. Democratic socialism is not socialism or communism. Democratic socialism is very much capitalism. Okay? When you go to the library and it's free, that's democratic socialism. If there's a fire in your house and you call the fire department and they put the fire out, that's democratic socialism. When you get Social Security, that's democratic socialism. If we presented those things today, people think we were crazy, but they're not. That's democratic socialism. Taking care of people is democratic socialism. Having the wealthy pay their fair share of taxes is democratic socialism. It's not communism, and it's not even regular socialism. So again, you got to do your research, you got to read, you got to understand history. And I'm hoping the Democratic Party, it's not even buying into it, they're taking over. It's not even like the people in charge of the Democratic Party. It's like, oh, all right, they're going to be kicked the fuck out, man. They're going to be kicked out. It's not even like they're going to have the choice to leave, because people are sick and tired of this shit. They're sick and tired of their fucking money going to illegal wars, to destabilizing the Middle East, to Israel, selling bombs and weapons so the Trump brothers could get rich. People are sick of that. If you're paying taxes, you pay a lot in taxes. It should go to healthcare and education, It should go to things that help people. That's why you pay taxes, not to fund Israel and their bombs, not for illegal wars or to make the Trump family rich. That's not why we pay taxes. We pay taxes for us. Well, why pay fucking taxes if we're not going to be represented? Think about it. Take a minute and think about it. I'll give you time. Trump is Israel's little puppy. That's a fair, accurate analogy. Snickers. I love Snickers. I told the story about Snickers. You know the story of Snickers? When I hung out the Mars Corporation in Disney. The Mars Corporation, which is still family owned, I believe. They owned racehorses, and their favorite racehorse was a racehorse called Snickers. And when they were developing this chocolate bar with peanuts and I guess caramel, their favorite racehorse passed away, Snickers. So in honor of their racehorse Snickers, they named the chocolate bar Snickers. And I love Snickers. Do you ever watch Tim? He sounds familiar. Is he a comedian? I think I came across. He came across on my feed recently. Some of us are sinners, and some of us are quinners. Nothing wrong with a little sin, When I'm good, but when I'm bad, I'm even better. I like witty one-liners. Some of my favorites you ever read, Dorothy Parker? I love Dorothy. She's very witty. My friend Lee Black Childers, who was best friends with Jane County, he was such a trip. Lee was he was Sid Vicious's manager. He was a photographer, Andy Warhol. He managed Johnny Thunders, and he ran the tour for David Bowie, his photographer. But Lee loved Dorothy Parker, and I always get him for his birthday. And my favorite Dorothy Parker quote is, because I'm a gin martini guy, is I like a martini, 2 at the most. 3, I'm under the table. 4, I'm under the host. That's a good line. Yes. I dined at Gage and Toner when I was a very little boy. That was one of my grandmother's favorite restaurant, between that and Lundy's. So I remember the OG Gage and Toner. And then I went to college a few blocks from there in Brooklyn Heights. And when I went to college, Gage and Toner became an Arby's, believe it or not. The roast beef place. Luckily, it was landmarked, so they kept everything in place. And then when they reopened it under the new owners, they invited me down for a recorded interview about my memories as a child going to Gage and Toner. And then I was there just about a month ago. I had to go to St. Francis College for a screening of a documentary I'm in about Farrell's Bar. And I said, let me pop in a little early. I'll pop into Gage and Toner. And I met some people that were involved with the documentary. And it was a beautiful bar, by the way. They make a hell of a good martini. And I think they have Ford's, which is like one of my favorite gins. Ford's. And number 3 is pretty good. I had number 3 in Bath in England a couple of weeks ago. I like a good gin. I was talking to my doctor. I had a few doctor's appointments last week. And I was trying to convince my doctor that gin is good for me. It has antitoxins. Low calories, no carbs. He was laughing. But I like gin a lot better than beer, because beer bloats you, But Gage and Toner makes a hell of a good stiff martini. I give it a thumbs up. Live on Twitch right now. This is Michael Quinn. Come on board. When is the next Disney trip? Next month, babe. Going next month to Disney. Next month I'm going to Disney World, and I'm also going to Knoebels. You ever heard of Knoebels? It was actually rated higher than the Magic Kingdom. It was rated the #1 amusement park in the country. I go every year. I rent a house in the amusement park. It's a free admission. It's pretty much, the park is pretty much just open. And I rent the house every year in the amusement park, a cottage in the like under the roller coaster. You wake up and you're in the amusement park. It's great. Knoebels, if you haven't been there, it's in central Pennsylvania, PA. It's in Ellisburg. And a friend of mine, Laura, she does the radio station out there. Hannah Radio. She's a really cool person. Big Feltman's fan. And she does the marketing for Knoebels. But that's a great amusement park, Knoebels in central PA. But yeah, I don't usually go to Disney in August, but it's been too long. I'm having withdrawals because I've traveled so much that I kind of skipped the month of going to Disney because I went to like London and I rented a house in the Hamptons last week. So I'd say, you know what, I got to throw in an August trip. It's been too long. But anyway, I've been on for almost 3 hours. This is awesome. I'm going to stream again tomorrow evening. I'm probably going to stream later again like I did tonight because I do have a play reading. I have to go to a friend's play reading in here in the city, and that starts at 7. And then probably get back maybe around 9:30 or 10. I could start streaming then probably. And I'm streaming on a daily basis now. So every evening I'm streaming on Twitch. So those of you who are on Facebook who are watching, because I'm piping the streaming into Facebook and YouTube, if you come on Twitch, you could hit the follow button. And I can't see your comments. I'll see your comments when the live ends. I'll go to my YouTube and my Facebook. I'll read the comments. But I can't read your comments when I'm live. So if you want to leave a comment, press the link underneath the video, and it will bring you into my Twitch account where I'm streaming, and also you can utilize the chat box. I also have TTS set up, so you can take advantage of that. I also have a handful of subs already, and it's I'm looking to drop. Well, I'm going to keep the YouTube and the Facebook because why not, right? I'm just streaming, but the TikTok, I'm not into TikTok anymore, especially now it's owned by Larry Ellison. It's really fell off TikTok. TikTok's fell off even worse than I fell off. I'm kidding. Since it's Trump's friend owns it, it's been pretty bad with if I say anything negative about Trump, often I get flagged or I get whatever, certain audience can't listen to this. So obviously there's a safeguard for Trump on TikTok at this moment. I liked it a lot better when the Chinese owned it. When the Chinese owned it, there was more freedom of speech, ironically, than when it's owned by a company in the United States. What do you think of that? Do you believe in any really good conspiracy theories? Not at all. Not at all. Joe Hunt's the Brooklyn Yeti's a big conspiracy theory guy. I am not a conspiracy theory guy at all. That's it. I remember studying my favorite course in college was philosophy and, empirical evidence and all that stuff. I have a very philosophical way of thinking, but also an analytical mind. Sounds like Scientology. I have to kind of see something, come up with my conclusions, inspect it. I just don't believe in conspiracy theories, And my hatred of Donald Trump it's so easy because he's not hiding the fact that he's a fucking asshole. Do you know what I'm saying? There are a lot of presidents that would hide the fact or act like they weren't a fucking asshole. Like he makes it as clear as the balls on a tall dog that he's a fucking asshole. And he always has. But you think when he got into politics, he would kind of like tone it down a little bit? No, he's even more of an asshole than he's ever been. So you don't need, the evidence is there when you see an asshole like Trump. But conspiracy theories, I don't buy into that shit. I just don't. I'm live on Twitch right now. Come on board. This is Michael Quinn. I'm streaming, full-time streamer every night, live from the Waldorf Astoria in Midtown Manhattan with Michael Quinn. So I'm streaming live every night now on Twitch. Come on board. This is Michael Quinn. I'm only taking questions on Twitch. So if you want me to answer your questions, go to twitch.tv. This is Michael Quinn. So thank you for the follows. I have Yui Gilligan. Thanks for the follow. Joseph Waklatsi. Is that Polish? Thanks for the follow. Martin Langizo Sakala. Is that right? Thanks for the follow. And for those who want to participate in my stream, I only read comments or answer questions that are on Twitch because I can only see them on Twitch because I'm streaming from Twitch. So those of you, especially you assholes on Facebook, I know there's a lot of fucking MAGA assholes on Facebook that watch. If you want to say anything or prove me wrong about Trump, you have to press the link underneath the screen and get into my Twitch chat box. And there's also, you have the TTS option where I can hear it, the audio. Great Latin word. And I also have subs. I have a handful of subs right now. I'll build that up. And that goes for you too, you people out there. I only answer questions on Twitch. So come on board Twitch. This is Michael Quinn. What time is it? Oh, it's almost 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm having too much fun on this Twitch, doing this every night. I need to switch. So those of you who are watching, if you want to see my one-person play, I have some performances this week in New York City and also out in East Hampton, Long Island. Wednesday, I have a 5:30 performance and a 7:30. And then Friday night, I have a 7:30 performance out in East Hampton, in Wainscott, Long Island. If you want to see the schedule, buy tickets, go to FeltmanWorldsFirstHotDog.com and you can come see my play. And I'd love to see you there. I think this is the longest I ever streamed. This has been a hell of a good stream. I'm heading to the 3-hour mark. That was as long as the movie I saw this afternoon called The Odyssey. Any of you see The Odyssey? I saw it today. I really enjoyed it. It was really good. And for those of you who want to, I can only read comments on Twitch. So if you want to engage with me, I can only read the Twitch comments. You have to go to twitch.tv. This is Michael Quinn. So this is Michael Quinn is my handle on Twitch. But I can only read the comments on Twitch. I can't read them on any other platform. If you're on Facebook or on YouTube, I know I'm going to see a bunch of comments when I stop my live on Twitch. I will only be able to see the comments or questions after the fact. But if you want to engage with me, you have anything to participate, go to twitch.tv. This is Michael Quinn. That's my handle. And I will read your comments out loud and give you a shout out. And you also have the TTS option here. Thanks for joining, everyone. In order to participate, you have to come in Twitch. My Twitch is This is Michael Quinn on Twitch. So it's twitch.tv. This is Michael Quinn, and I can only read comments on Twitch. I'm streaming live on Twitch right now. You have Mr. Beast on. Who is Mr. Beast? Do you know who Mr. Beast is? I see his name here. Mr. Beast is different than. Look at this mark on my glasses. My Gucci glasses give me these marks. I think I'm going to switch my glasses to the other ones sometimes. I like the Gucci, but they're thick frames, and sometimes they make marks on my ear, my nose. Yeah, I can't wait to shave. Beard's all right. It's a little scruffy, but I have to have the mustache. The mustache will come in really nice for the play this week. Refurbished, yeah, glasses. I have to clean them, I think. But anyway, come on board. Do me a favor if you haven't yet. Come on Twitch. This is Michael Quinn. And give me, press the follow on Twitch. I appreciate it. I'm going to go clean them. What keeps you busy these days, Michael? Twitch and my play and traveling. So I'm performing my play like 1 week a month in New York City, and I'm going to be traveling with it. So I'm working on my play, spending time with family, and traveling. I still work out every day. I'm still recovering from the operation here. Remember, I had this done in February. I had spinal stenosis. So the doctor sliced my throat open and moved my esophagus over to the side to get to my disc in my neck. And he replaced the disc in my neck with titanium. So I'm still going for a PT. So I've been doing that, but still doing my full workouts. I'm going to work on losing some more weight. I've been doing well with the weight, but like I went to London for a week and then the Hamptons for a week, and all of a sudden, I gained a few pounds, but I'm still feeling good. I'm still healthy, So yeah, I'd say my creative life has been great. Family life, travel, writing, performing, obviously politics. I'm very passionate about the world and my place in it and helping other people. So that's why I'm so against what's going on right now, because it's real and it affects people. And I'm a people person. But I need you to give me a follow on Twitch if you can, because I'm streaming every night on Twitch. So go to twitch.tv. This is Michael Quinn. So I'm going to turn this off right now. So if you want to continue the conversation, I'm going to keep the camera on Twitch. So I'm going to ask you to give me a follow on Twitch. Hit the follow button. If you go to twitch.tv, this is Michael Quinn. That's my Twitch account. So I'm going to shut this off now, but I'm going to continue streaming on Twitch under This is Michael Quinn. And I stream daily, every night on Twitch. Let's go Mets, babe.
same size as my boat. A mammoth shark emerged from the depths and came face to face with marine biologist Mauricio Hoyos. Using photogrammetry, scientists estimated this female to be nearly 10 feet wide and over 20 feet long.
Put that in perspective. That's basically the size of a school bus.
Where has she been lurking?
Deep Blue is the biggest unsolved mystery at Guadalupe Lake.
And just how did she get so big? Male great whites rarely grow more than 13 feet long, and even the largest females often max out at 16 feet, making Deep Blue a deep sea giant.
Wow, we got a really big shark around the cove. So we're anxious to get a tag in this one. Really anxious.
Shortly after her discovery, she surfaced again. And was tagged and tracked for 24 hours before retreating back into the depths. Then her trail went cold.
Is it Shark Week yet?
Captured the public's
I think it is, right? All right, I'm about to wrap it up.
2013,
Here it is. Oh.
a team of shark researchers encountered a great white unlike any they'd ever seen before.
It is the biggest shark that we have recorded.
Thanks for tuning in today. I'm doing a full 3 hours, and I'll be back on tomorrow evening. Thanks for joining my stream. Tell your friends about it, and we'll shoot the shit some more. I'm really enjoying this now that I'm a full-time streamer. And if you haven't yet, give me a follow. I know some of you are tuning in from YouTube or from Facebook. I want to thank Gloria Castaneda Quintana for the follow right now. Guillermo Garcia, thanks for the follow. And Joseph Ossi for the follow. I appreciate the follow. I'm looking forward to continuing streaming daily in the evening with you guys and gals. And we had some really great discussions this evening. And I'm going to call it a night. It's crazy. So thanks for coming. I'll see you tomorrow night. What's actually tomorrow already? Later in the evening. Every evening I'll be. If you watch my socials, I'll make an announcement when I'm going to stream. Tomorrow will probably be late again, like tonight.